Bulldog Sports Network from Learfield in partnership with TeleSouth Communications.
In progress is that slider. Some days it's really good, and some days it's adequate. And he's, like I said, he's a young guy when it comes to pitching. So that's the pitch to me that as he gets better with that, he's going to continue to improve. But you watch him, I mean, he's just a workhorse. I mean, he can go out and give you some innings, throw you some pitches, and he's going to have a good career here at Mississippi State. He's still got another year after this one before he's even draft eligible.
So right-hander for State and Duke Stone. On the other side for Lipscomb, they bring out a left-hander freshman in Jackson Lee. Only one start so far this year, but this will be his fifth time on the mound in the Bison's uniform. A 1.38 ERA through those four appearances. He's given up 2 earned runs, 3 total runs through just 13 innings of work on the season. But this is a big moment for a freshman coming here to Dudy Noble Field for your 5th game all-time in the collegiate ranks. But so far, good stuff from the left-hander, hails from Columbia, Tennessee. And again, a true freshman.
Yeah, and really, you look at his numbers. I mean, 13 innings pitched, 11 hits, only 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 16 Ks. By far, he has the probably the best numbers on this staff. And a lot of teams will do this, especially early in the year. And I don't think they're necessarily doing it with him being a freshman, but their best guy will be a Sunday guy against some of these bigger schools, trying to kind of sneak that one win out against their number 3. But his kid's been really good. He's a 4-pitch mix guy, high 80s. Maybe he'll bump 91, 92 fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. Just tries to keep you off balance, get you swinging misses, and get some soft contact early. But so far, he's pitched great. I mean, against Belmont, he went 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, struck out 7. So he's had some really, really good outings so far this year. By far, probably been their best guy.
Yeah, had a lot of pitches in his only start of the year. That was against Toledo back earlier this month on March the 2nd. But he was able to strike out 5, never walked a batter, but did give up 2 runs, one of which was earned through 3 2/3 innings. So 87 pitches through 3 2/3 means that sometimes command wasn't there, but it never resulted in walks.
Right.
So could see State trying to get that pitch count up as they fight at the plate today against this left-hander for Lipscomb. So Duke Stone on the mound for Mississippi State. Jackson Lee, a left-hander, on the mound in his freshman year for the Lipscomb Bisons. And that's a look at today's pitching matchup preview brought to you by Bracken Construction, specializing in steel erection, crane service, heavy industrial, and steel mill construction. All today's stolen bases are brought to you by Wade Incorporated, Mississippi's #1 John Deere dealer. Nothing runs like a deer but a bulldog. Speaking of pitching just a moment ago, all Bulldog saves this season are brought to you by Mississippi Blood Services. Did you know you could save up to 3 lives with 1 blood donation? Go to msblood.com to find a blood drive near you. Mississippi Blood Services, helping to save lives for the past 40 years. Did not get a chance to have a pregame interview because of the compressed batting practice schedule for all the teams involved today. So when we come back, we're going to have a look at what happened around the league yesterday, as it was a slate full of games, a couple of doubleheaders, as well as teams all across the region are trying to get games in due to the weather that has entered our area. So that and more coming up as we continue to count our way down to first pitch between Mississippi State and Lipscomb. You're listening to Mississippi State Baseball from Learfield.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you. So why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. To get started, find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Trey Willis, shortstop.
Marshall Jones, first baseman.
Alex Philbin, center fielder.
Hi, I'm Tim from C Spire. Am I in the right place? It always pays to have the right players on your team. That's why C Spire gives you fiber-fast home internet, nationwide 5G wireless, and best-in-class business solutions, all backed by local 24/7 support. C Spire, customer-inspired.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just non-stop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Living with long COVID can make work a challenge, but you don't have to face it alone. The Career Horizons Project at Mississippi State University is here to help Mississippians ages 16 to 70 with long COVID find and keep meaningful jobs. Together, we can build a path towards stability, confidence, and success. Call us at 662-325-8248 or visit careerhorizonsproject.msstate.edu. The contents of this announcement were developed under Grant H421 F240-107 from the U.S. Department of Education.
Your home for the Bulldogs. This is the Bulldog Sports Network from Learfield.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. Being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA, is really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families, and one way you can do that is store your weapons safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Getting the infield wet here at Dudy Noble Field as we are getting closer and closer to the first pitch of the series finale between Mississippi State and Lipscomb. Let's look at the SEC and what happened in yesterday's action so far this weekend. A couple games in for some teams. Others had to move yesterday's contest to today to continue the weekend's action. Pretty good SEC slate as far as the wins are concerned for the conference, all minus the High Point upset of the Florida Gators as High Point took down Florida 7-2 in yesterday's matchup. Meanwhile, Alabama gets the better end of North Florida by the score of 7-2. Auburn, 10-0 victory over Winthrop. And then Arkansas, State's next opponent, able to get the victory 7-1 over Stetson as part of the 3-game weekend. Georgia takes down Queens 12-2. An opponent of State's from last year. And in Oxford, Ole Miss was able to double up Evansville, getting the 2 wins, 7-2 in the first game and then 14-2 in the second game of the Twin Bill. Meanwhile, Texas, top 5 opponent coming up on the schedule. They take down Noah Sullivan's former school in USC Upstate by the final of 14-2. Texas A&M, also part of a doubleheader, get the best end of Oakland 6-3, the final in game 1 with 10-2, the win in game 2. Missouri had their game suspended in the 5th inning, trailing Illinois Chicago 12-4 in that affair. They will continue that contest later on today. Kentucky wins over the Citadel 10-5. LSU back on the winning side, getting the victory 15-4 over Sacramento State. Tennessee walks off Wright State to pick up the first win of the weekend over them. Stop me if you've heard that before, Tennessee walking off Wright State. That's a former NCAA tournament result. And then Vanderbilt also back on the winning side, getting the victory 14-2. Oklahoma and South Carolina, a wash on the game yesterday. Oklahoma already does have a 1-game lead in the weekend series with Santa Clara, but they will pick things back up today to continue that series. Meanwhile, South Carolina, like I said, did not take on Princeton yesterday, and they will continue on to the weekend series. But the third member of our crew, Jeff Marcy, can tell you all about the games coming up, times and all of that. But we're going to be kind of on our own, Jeff, for the early going of this one when we start a game at 10 a.m., aren't we?
Right. It won't be another hour until the next SEC team is in action. That's going to be number 20, Texas A&M, as they face Oakland in the final game of their series. They played a doubleheader yesterday, so just like us, they're getting the series done early on this Saturday. We have a couple of other teams playing doubleheaders today, including that Mizzou and UIC matchup, where they have to continue the suspended game from yesterday and play a second as well. Auburn and Winthrop playing a doubleheader today, as well as Queens and number 10, Georgia. How about some of the other games going on? Oh, mentioned in that doubleheader group, South Carolina and Princeton also playing a doubleheader. They're just getting their series started on this Saturday. Some of the other games today at noon, it'll be Alabama and North Florida for Game 2 of that series. I have a busy 2 o'clock window. That'll be number 2 LSU and Sacramento State. Number 14 Oklahoma hosting Santa Clara for Game 2 of their series. Number 9 Arkansas will host the Stetson Hatters. Also have number 19 Tennessee and Wright State, as well as number 3 Texas and USC Upstate. And closing out that 2 o'clock window will be Vanderbilt and North Dakota State. Later on, it'll be number 8 Florida and High Point. The Panthers pulled off the upset over the Gators yesterday, so Florida going to want to get back at them. And number 24 Kentucky rounds out the SEC schedule today as they host the Citadel at 6 o'clock from Lexington. So that'll do it for our look at the SEC out-of-town scoreboard. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll send it back to Caleb Ham. We'll have the starting lineups for you from Dudy Noble Field as you listen to Mississippi State baseball from Learfield.
Hey, it's me, Gus the Gopher for Atmos Energy. I dig all around the yard. Occasionally, I bump into a utility line and get a headache. But if you hit one with your shovel, backhoe, or ditch digger, you could cause a gas leak, disrupt service, or worse. So call 811 at least 3 business days before you or someone else digs in your yard to have those underground utility-owned lines marked. It's free and it's the law. You dig what I'm saying? For more on safe digging, visit atmosenergy.com/811.
Everything is just a little easier when you feel at home. At Cadence Bank, we're proud to be part of your home team, and we never stop working to give you a competitive advantage. Stop by a branch or visit us online at cadencebank.com to learn more about how we're helping opportunity take shape for our community.
There's a hit out to left field. This one is gone.
Cadence Bank, a proud sponsor of Mississippi State Athletics. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
Hi, this is Jan from Toyota. You're currently listening to my new meditation guide called Meditating with Jan from Toyota. Take a moment to find a comfortable position. Now soften your focus and visualize yourself off-roading in a rugged new Tacoma. Now take a deep breath in, smell the patchouli, and imagine taking a Corolla cross to a music festival. Now engage your senses. What do you hear? A donkey. That's what you heard because you're in a farm sanctuary now in a spacious new Grand Highlander. Breathe in, breathe out, and go from dreaming it to driving it today. That's Jan's meditation.
Right now, qualified buyers get 2.99% APR financing for 72 months, plus $1,000 subvention cash on a new 2026 Tundra. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends March 31st. Toyota. Let's go places.
This is Mississippi State Baseball on the Bulldogs Sports Network from Learfield.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
set between Mississippi State and Lipscomb as we await first pitch. As it's now time for the starting lineups, brought to you by Farm Families of Mississippi. Farm Families of Mississippi, our farm, your life. First for Jeff Forehand's Lipscomb Bisons. They'll lead things off with a left-handed hitting left fielder, Jordan Thomas, followed by the shortstop, number 12, Kai Holm. In the 3 spot, it's the center fielder, Aaron Steloganis, leading the team in batting average with a .435 mark. In the cleanup spot, meanwhile, it's the left-hander Keaton Mayhem. The singer will play in right field for today's game. Batting 5th is the DH Blake Carter, followed by the first baseman Damian Keneally Jr. 7 hole will be manned by the catcher, number 24, Alejandro Ludero, followed by second baseman, number 8, Brady Miller. And then Hudson Miles will get the start at third base and bat in the 9 spot. On the mound for Lipscomb today, it's the left-hander Jackson Lee playing in his freshman year, making his second all-time start, 5th all-time appearance in today's game. So top down, it's Thomas, Holm, Steloganis, Mahan, Carter, Keneally, Ludero, Miller, Miles, with Lee on the bump. Meanwhile, for State, a bit of a different look for the Bulldogs today. Drew Wires gets the start at the top of the order, but he'll play as the DH rather than being a fielder for the Bulldogs, followed by Ace Reese, the left-handed third baseman. Noah Sullivan will play at first base while batting in the 3 hole. In the cleanup spot, it's Vitas Valencias, and he gets the start in right field today, batting .444, just a shade below Reed Stallman for the team's lead in batting average so far this year. Batting 5th is the catcher Sean James, followed by the switch-hitting Garrick Fry at second base. Bottom third of the order, it starts off with the shortstop Ryder Woodson, followed by Blake Beavis getting the start in left field, and then Bryce Chance will anchor the outfield in the center field post, with Duke Stone on the mound for the Bulldogs. So top down for Coach Brian O'Connor's club, it's Wires, Reese, Sullivan, Valencias, James, Fry, Woodson, Beavis, Chance, a right-handed heavy lineup with just Ace Reese and Garrick Fry, left-hander and switch hitter, the non-right-handed dominant arms on them are at the plate today for Mississippi State. So it is 6-7 Lipscomb facing off against 13-2 Mississippi State. First pitch is next. You're listening to Mississippi State Baseball from Learfield.
Hey fans, I know you'd do anything for a win on game day and an ice-cold Bud Light. Because whether you're tailgating in the parking lot or parked on the couch, sitting on your lucky stool at the bar, or standing in the fans section all game long, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. And there's nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Bulldog fans, are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime. World-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all. Must be 21 or older.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Bulldogs baseball lives here on the Bulldogs Sports Network from Learfield.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
We just kind of knew from the beginning that we were family.
They showcased a sense of love that I never had before. I mean, he's not only my parent, he's like my best friend.
At the end of the day, it's all been worth it. I wouldn't change a thing about our lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds. Learning new things comes with age.
My mom? She started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
This is Mississippi State baseball.
Sullivan swings. This is a drive into deep left center field. The outfielders won't chase it. It's into the lounge and gone. Curveball cut on and missed.
Diamond Dogs baseball lives here.
That one's into the students and gone. Ace Reese.
It's game time on the Bulldog Sports Network from Learfield. Today's game is brought to you by Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team. And by the Mid-South Ford dealers and Ford F-150, official truck of your Mississippi State Bulldogs. Hail State. Once again, here's Caleb Hamill.
2 games in the book so far between Mississippi State and Lipscomb. Today, the Bulldogs look to take down the Bisons in the series finale and complete a perfect sweep of the home stand here to start off 2026 before SEC play. With Jay Powell, I'm Caleb Hamill. Happy to be with you as Duke Stone takes his warm-up tosses for the Bulldogs, getting ready to face off against the Lipscomb at top of the order. Let's pause 10 seconds for a station identification. That's 10 seconds for station ID. You're listening to Bulldog Baseball. .75 degrees and sun here in Starkville with some partly cloudy skies, just drifting in and out, expecting some rough weather here before too long on the evening. That's why we're playing at 10 a.m. today. Jay, early morning games can be tough for a lot of guys. I saw a lot of energy drinks down there in that dugout, guys getting ready for this one. This is where the freshmen may have the better advantage because they have 8 a.m. classes sometimes. They're used to having to wake up early on in the morning. But all in all, it's different playing a game this early, but you're glad to get it in.
Yeah, you are, and that's the main thing right now. You want to get guys in, you want to get them at bats, get them innings pitched. And, you know, I was sitting here thinking for Duke, he probably hadn't started a game this early really since probably travel ball days back in high school. But it's, you know, when you play baseball, you learn to adapt, you learn to adjust to things because of stuff like this and weather. So I think they'll be fine. I don't think it's going to be a huge issue for these guys once they get out on that field.
Top of the order for Lipscomb, they'll begin with the left-hander Jordan Thomas facing off against right-hander Duke Stone, followed by Kai Holm and Aaron Steliganis. Bulldogs today, black jersey tops with the script State in maroon trimmed in white across the chest, maroon numbers trimmed in white on either side of the jerseys, with the white pinstripe pants, maroons piping up those sides. Meanwhile, Lipscomb in a bold purple top with white numbers on the back, gold numbers on the front, and white pants with purple stripes up the sides. We are ready for first pitch as Duke Stone goes into his windup and delivers the first pitch. A little upstairs for ball one on a fastball at 93, and we're underway. Breakfast with the Bulldogs here in a game of baseball. 1-0 the count. Here's a second offering to Thomas. Holds back his swing but takes a strike. Right there, 95 out of the hand of Stone to even the count 1-1. Just underway here. Bases clear, nobody out. Wind blowing nicely out towards left field. Lefty waits. Here's his 1-1 pitch, and he fouls it back for strike two.
Well, Duke's got a good fastball at 10 a.m. We've seen some 94s, 95s.
So far, locating all except that first pitch, facing off against a .333 batting average mark in Jordan Thomas at the plate. Here's the 1-2.
Yes, he did.
Did he go around? No. Buried that pitch down there at the plate. Count is even now 2-2.
Good pitch, too. Slider down and in, right underneath his hands.
Not bad at all. Count even 2-2. Everybody playing true to position. Stone a long look in at the sign. Now deals. Up and away with a fastball. Count is now full 3-2. Thomas is a junior out of Loganville, Georgia. Did not start in either of the first two games. 3-2 delivery. Ground ball towards the middle on a couple hops. Woodson shuffles over to behind second base, throws to first base, and Sullivan's able to glove it there for the out. Kind of threw it towards the home plate side at first, but still Sullivan's able to stretch and get there. A couple pitches burned there for Stone, but he still records the out. There's one away.
Yeah, did a good job coming back and 3-2, getting that ground ball up the middle. Ryder makes a nice play. Noah able to hold on the bag. I was talking to Brian O'Connor about Noah yesterday playing first, and jokingly he said, "How hard is it? Just catch the ball." And I said, "Yeah, and make sure your foot's on the bag." He said, "Exactly." But a little more goes into it than that. But so far, he's done a good job over there.
Just a little bit. Here's Kai Holm. First pitch to him is right down the heart of the plate for a strike on the fastball from Stone. 0-1. The first inning is brought to you by Bank First. Bank First, a better way to bank. Basics clear, one out for Lipscomb in the top of the first inning. 0-1 delivery from Stone. It's caught on and fouled back off the cap of the bat to the backstop. Strike two.
Besides the maroon uniforms, I think these are my favorites.
You're a fan of the black tops?
I like the black tops. I like them a lot. That black and maroon, I think, looks really good together.
No balls, 2 strikes with 1 down here in the first inning. Battle of right-handers. Here's the pitch to Holm, and Stone wastes it low and away. You can get a ball up in the air towards left field. It can go a long ways. Beavis is the left fielder today for State. Wide to the 1-2. And that one misses low. The sun is covering just about every square inch of this playing surface. Poor right-hander right now, Kai Holm, has the sun just beaming right into his face from where it stands right now. 2-2 pitch. Off the end of the bat towards second, a slow roller. Fry gets there to it. Plenty of time to get the throw to first base, and there's 2 gone. Looked slower than it ended up being, as Fry was still able to make the play about midway through the dirt on the right side of the infield. Not a plus runner either in Kai Holm, who was going up the first baseline. Now there are 2 outs for Stella Ganis, team's best hitter for Lipscomb. Base is clear, 2 outs. We're in the top of the first. First pitch to Stella Ganis. On the outer edge with a fastball for a strike call.
Stella Ganis had a couple hits last night. He's a good-looking player.
Nothing in 1. For the hitter batting .435 on the season. Next pitch. That one skips away. Too far outside that time. Well, if Stone can get that corner that he got on that last pitch prior to the ball right there, could be a pitcher's day here. Especially if you can pop that mid of Sean James behind the dish. Count even 1-1. Here it comes. Hold back of the swing, and they say he went around. Our first base umpire today is Jordan Farrell. He made the call that time. There are 2 strikes. 1-2 the count on Stella Ganis. State trying to work a 1-2-3 frame after a pair of ground outs. Stone goes into the windup. Here's the 1-2. And buries that one for ball 2. Defenders for State today, Blake Beavis in left, Bryce Chance in center field with Vitas Valencius in the right field area. In the infield for State, Ace Reese on the left side at third, Ryder Woodson at short, Garrick Fry, the second baseman, with Noah Sullivan guarding first. They're all playing back right now. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. A Hancock-Whitney strikeout for Duke Stone punctuates the top half of the first inning as the Bulldogs work a 1-2-3 top of the first. No score between Mississippi State and Lipscomb, with the Bulldogs coming to bat when play resumes. You're listening to Mississippi State Baseball from Learfield.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C-Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you implement AI to increase productivity.
And next quarter is looking even better.
giving you the confidence and control to accelerate business growth. There's more to see. C-Spire. Customer inspired.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Except for the bottom half of the first inning between Mississippi State and Lipscomb. Game 3 between the Bulldogs and the Bisons. Sullivan's Office Supply in Starkville is the official supplier of office furniture and office supplies to Bulldog Sports. Sullivan's can help your business with items from office products and furniture to commercial interior design. Visit Sullivan's Office Supply, 204 Main Street in downtown Starkville, or online at sullivansoffice.com. Jay, pretty good pitching so far for Duke Stone in that one. Didn't really rely on that changeup very much, but he's able to get the swing and miss on a slider there for the 3 spot of the order. Still, again, it's a tough out.
Yeah, a lot of fastball slider mix early for Duke. That's what you're going to see a lot with the predominantly right-handed lineup. And I think really with these lefties, sometimes he doesn't like to show it until that second time through the lineup. So, yeah, good start for Duke.
Well, State will lead things off with Drew Wires. He's batting as the DH in this game with Noah Sullivan occupying the first base bag defensively. And State has kind of found his home there in the top of the lineup. And I was texting a friend of mine on Thursday night about, as this, the pitching lineup changed and you saw right-handers come in, I thought for a moment that maybe Drew Wires would sub out and Garrick Fry would come in. Boy, I'm glad I was wrong with that, because about that time is when he cranked 2 home runs in a row.
Yeah, he had a good night Thursday night, and just Neil alluded to it, just a great kid, just loves to be here.
Takes his first pitch, up and away, ball 1.
Pitcher almost, he threw the pitch and went to step back. When he did, he almost just laid out, fell backwards. Might have a little nerves for the freshman.
Here's the 1-0 delivery. Wires takes it on the inner edge for a called strike at 81. Left-handed arm working from the third base side of the slab with Drew Wires, the right-hander, waiting. Here's the 1-1. That's rocketed right up the middle, a base hit. Drew Wires, right on cue, is able to deposit one into center field on a hot shot right back up the middle. So he's aboard for the first Bulldog batter of the day for Ace Reese to come up behind him.
Well, one thing you hear Brian O'Connor talk about, if you perform, you're going to play. And Drew Wires is living proof of that. He's been performing, and he's been in that lineup every day.
He's got a center-cut fastball right there, 89 miles an hour. That looked about like BP for a little bit there. Ace Reese, the only true left-hander in the lineup today, stands in. Takes a first pitch on the outer edge for a called strike.
Tell you what, that's a big outer edge.
Went howling towards left field in the lofts. With Drew Wires at first base, nobody out in the bottom of the first. Jackson Lee, working for the mound, delivers. Pitch way outside that time to even the count 1-1. Reese in yesterday's game went 0 for 4, but scored a pair of runs. He struck out twice and walked once. 1-1 delivery. Off the plate again, as Luderow is able to keep that one in front to avoid Drew Wires taking off. Matt Kirby now giving some instruction to the Bulldog runner at first. Give you the defense for Lipscomb. Jordan Thomas is the left fielder. Stella Gannis in center with Mahan in right. And the infielders across the horn from left to right. It's Miles, Holm, Miller, Keneally with Luderow behind the plate. 2-1 pitch way out in front. Ace Reese chased that one down out of the zone. Count level 2-2 for the Canton, Texas native. Noah Sullivan on deck here in the early going of the bottom of the first. A look at Drew Wires, now the delivery. And Reese is punched out looking. Just caught the outer edge to the left-hander.
Well, that's not the greatest of bat for Ace, and he'll tell you that too. The outer edge is a little wide to left-handed hitters, especially on that breaking ball, and that's close. But it's probably a ball or two off. But you know, going into it now, hey, you got to extend that plate on the outside corner if you're a left-handed hitter.
So one down and a runner at first for State. Here's the right-hander Noah Sullivan. He hits that one in the air, deep towards left, back to the warning track, wall, and it's gone. Noah Sullivan gives the Bulldogs a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the first.
Man's heating up. And you talked about the wind howling out the left field, and he hit it good, but once it got up in that wind, it was no doubt. It ended up being about 6-7 rows out of the lounge, but he's getting hot, and that's a good sign for the Bulldogs when Noah starts swinging the bat like he's swinging it.
Mustache man with a moonshot to left. Moonshot may not be the word today at 10 a.m., but still, it's a great shot nonetheless for Noah Sullivan. Here's Valencius for State with the bases clear and just one out. Right-hander takes one inside for ball one. Tape measure said that was 379 feet to straightaway left. Next pitch misses the outer edge to Valencius, 2-0. Tell you what, looking back at Jacob Parker's home run earlier in the weekend, as that pitch catches the zone for a strike, it's 2-1 on Valencius. You talk about an upper edge fastball that looked like Parker was almost bunting it, and somehow it just ends up out of the yard. That guy's got raw strength, and on a day like today, raw strength can get you a far ways as Valencius fouls one on the ground up towards State's dugout for strike two.
Well, I just told Neil, too, he's one of the rare lefties that's a high ball hitter. I mean, he likes a ball up in the zone, and, I mean, he's got that kind of swing, and boy, he got to it yesterday.
2-2 on Valencius. Pitch misses upstairs with a fastball at 90 to make the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Valencius on the year, batting .444. This is just his 8th start of the season. Next pitch, a soft grounder towards third. On a hop, fielded by Miles. Throw across the diamond as in times it beats Valencius by a step and a half. And there are 2 away.
Well, you kind of see what Lee's going to want to do to Mississippi State. There's not going to be a lot of fastballs. There's going to be a lot of change-ups, a lot of sliders, a lot of curveballs, a lot of sinkers. I mean, he just wants to try to keep you off the barrel.
Top velocity we've seen so far has been 90 out of the left-hander. Hasn't thrown it a ton. First pitch to Sean James. That does not catch the zone. Just missed high, ball one.
That's a great example of the zone, a different zone to a righty than a lefty.
Here's the 1-0. Misses outside that time. It's 78 miles an hour. 2-0 State leads. Noah Sullivan with a 2-run homer to left field. That one's way high and over the head of the catcher Lutero. 3-0 on James. For the 5 spot of the order, State got a leadoff base hit from Drew Wires up the middle. Noah Sullivan with 1 out was able to send him home with a home run. 3-0 pitch. Upstairs, ball 4. James walked on 4 pitches. Some wild misses there. Just seemed like Lee couldn't locate that fastball.
No, he couldn't at all. I mean, he's thrown a lot of breaking balls early in the game, but he tried to throw 2 fastballs right there. One went to the backstop, and the other one was hit the umpire in the head.
Now Garrick Fry digs in. Batting right-handed against the lefty Jackson Lee. Runner at first, 2 down the pitch. Popped up behind the plate, and that gets out of play. Strike 1 on Fry. Fry has seemed to be seeing the ball very well lately.
100%, especially left-handed. Right-handed, he does better against these type of guys right-handed than he does the really hard throwers.
Foul ball back to the screen. Count is 0-2.
Just like that one there. It's 87 in on his hands, and it just, the way he closes himself off right-handed, it just ties him up a little bit. He just, and a good fastball right-handed seems to tie him up.
Helped bat in a run yesterday in State's win over Lipscomb. Here's the 0-2 and a wave and a miss. Got him to chase low and outside, and that is a strikeout for Jackson Lee, his second of the game. But State is able to plate a pair of runs. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on for State in the bottom of the first inning. When we come back, it'll be Lipscomb's turn with the middle third of their order. You're listening to Mississippi State Baseball from Learfield.
When I smoke weed, I get lost in the music. I like to isolate each instrument. The rhythmic bass, the harmonies on the piano, the sticky melody.
Hey, careful, babe. There's someone crossing the street.
Sorry, I didn't see him there.
If you feel different, you drive different. Don't drive high. It's dangerous and illegal everywhere. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Well, good result for the first inning so far as Mississippi State takes a 2-0 lead into the second inning. Duke Stone worked a 1-2-3 top of the first. Took some pitches to do it, but was able to get through the top of the order unscathed as we move to the top of the second. For all things college baseball, including live games and talk, tune into Sirius XM College Sports Radio, Channel 84, and streaming on the Sirius XM app. Duke back out to work against Lipscomb's 4, 5, and 6 hitters. It'll be Keaton Mahan, the left-hander, followed by Blake Carter and then Damian Keneally Jr. Right-handed heavy lineup for Lipscomb. This is just the second of 2 lefties in the order for Coach Jeff Forehand. Mahan with his left toes along the chalk line on the back of the box as Stone works into the windup and delivers. First pitch just off the outer edge for ball 1. 2-0 lead for State. So we pick up play here in the top of the second. Stone again. Here's the 1-0. That catches the bottom of the zone. Count level 1-1. I mentioned earlier, right-handed hitters kind of have a little bit more of the sun beaming towards their faces. Maybe an advantage for a left-hander, even though he's battling against Duke Stone right here. Pitch misses outside, ball 2. But I've wondered before about the bills of those helmets. They hardly ever get used, but on a day like today, for right-handers, that becomes a necessity, trying to block that sun. 2-1 delivery. Missed upstairs with the fastball at 93. Count is 3-1. Is there any advantage or disadvantage that hitters may have in an early morning game like this, Jay?
I don't think so. I mean, I really don't. I think it's if anything, I think the pitcher honestly may have a little bit of an advantage.
3-1 pitch. That one's hit in the air towards left center. Long run for Chance to chase it down. He flags it just on top of the warning tracks. He transitions into the gap near the 385 sign. But he makes the grab for out number 1 as Mahan is retired.
I'll tell you what, it wasn't a routine play, but he made it look routine. Bryce got a great jump on that ball, and it was telling away from him, but, I mean, he just took a great angle.
And similar to what we saw when he played right field down there in Arlington in that first game against Arizona State. He was just able to find the perfect angle to take and link up right with the ball as it arrived. Here's the first pitch to Carter, and Blake Carter swings through it for strike 1. Right-handed playing designated hitter today for Lipscomb. Wind did not help Bryce that time, but he's still able to catch up to it. 0-1 with 1 out of the inning. Next pitch, and Carter takes it just off the plate for a ball, 1-1.
That's probably the first curveball we've seen from Duke.
Yeah, I'd asked that question about pitches because I've wondered before if the shadows across the ball look any different or is any type of adjustment for this time of game. 1-1 pitch, wave and a miss there. Kept the velocity down and got Carter out in front swinging. But State's used to seeing 11 a.m. games. 10 a.m. is not that different as far as what the shadows are here at the park. Count a ball and 2 strikes. Pitch comes. Got him looking. Strike 3. Down at a fastball over the outer third and just froze Blake Carter. And that is the second Hancock-Whitty strikeout of the game for Duke Stone. They're 2 gone.
Well, he pitched him backwards, soft early and hard late, and that was a great sequence for Duke Stone.
Now it's up to Damian Keneally Jr. for Lipscomb. Bat with the bases clear and 2 down. Keneally on the weekend went 1 for 4 in the first game as he started off with a fastball strike on the outer edge. 0-1. And I don't think Keneally played yesterday. So just his second time out here at Dudy Noble. 0-1. Just missed inside. Count level 1-1. Keneally Jr., the first baseman for today's action. Base is clear, 2 outs. State with a 2-0 lead over Lipscomb here at the top of the second. Wide stance for the right-hander. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Way into the other batter's box with a fastball. Count moves to 2-1. Think of playing your next vacation on the Mississippi coast where sun-soaked beaches and laid-back charms set the perfect scene. Embrace the coastal vibes as you explore scenic shores, fresh seafood spots, and vibrant waterfront towns. You can gear up for epic rides and unforgettable adventures along the Gulf Coast. 2-1 pitch. Ground ball past Stone towards the middle. Backhand to play by Fry. Slings it over to first base, and he's got him. Well, a couple non-routine outs for State's defense in the second inning, but the Bulldogs are able to complete all of them. As it's another 1-2-3 inning for the Bulldog defense in the top of the second inning, as it remains State 2, Lipscomb nothing, as we move to the bottom half of the second. You're listening to Mississippi State Baseball from Learfield.
Dudy Noble Field, a college baseball mecca where thunder and lightning once dominated the diamond. Championship hopes spring eternal, and an electric atmosphere ignites the Bulldogs to victory. This Mississippi State tradition is brought to you by Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 49 years straight. Drive F-150, official truck of the Bulldogs. Only at your Mississippi Ford dealer, based on 1977 to 2025 total sales.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in the farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
Well, State's defense is helping out the team right now in a 2-0 lead going into the bottom of the second inning. Face the minimum through 2 innings of work for Duke Stone. And for the Bulldogs, it's Ryder Woodson, Blake Beavis, and Bryce Chance to start things off here in the second. That would be the bottom third of the order. Well, Mississippi State was founded in 1878, and over the years, the university has garnered support from various companies that have helped Mississippi State grow. The following businesses support the Bulldogs: Buffalo Wild Wings, Campus Bookmart, Eat Local Starville, OB Starville, Starville Properties, and the Lodge by Alumni Hall. Ryder Woodson leads off, Jay, and this is a guy that we talked about in Arlington, just absolutely crushes the ball, just sometimes to the fielders, but he finally got his first home run back on Thursday.
Yeah, he hit it well in Arlington, and he started getting a lot of hits, and then he started hitting some balls out of the park, and he's been a little bit of a tear.
There's a ground ball right back to the pitcher Lee on the first offering. He runs over to first and underhand tosses to the covering Neely, the first baseman. There's one away. 1 pitch, 1 out for Lee. That helps out his cause. and a 2-0 deficit as Blake Beavis makes his slow walk towards home plate.
Blake in left field today. We've seen him mostly at first base. He's getting a little start in the outfield.
Played out for the first time last year before arriving at State. First pitch is a strike call on the outer edge. 0-1. A multi-tool type of guy. First base, we've seen him in the outfield. Been pretty decent at the plate, too, as he wears one there. Just across the front of his thighs. And he's aboard as a hit batsman.
And we've seen that really all year with Brian O'Connor. We've seen guys, we saw Drew Wires the other day at first base. He likes versatility with these guys. And look, as a player, if you can play multiple positions, you can stay on that field. And we've seen guys move around a lot.
Bryce Chance, one of those that has seen time at, I think, every outfield post. Gives a slight lead at first base as that ball's in the dirt and blocked well by Lutero. Ball 1. Yeah, in fact, we saw him play right field and left field in the same game against Arizona State in Arlington. Now he's kind of found his home in center while Aiden Teal is on the bend. Blake Beavis at first, 1 out, bottom of the second inning. Here's the 1-0 to Chance. Turns on that one, fouls it back just over our heads.
Got to get Aiden healthy. He's been dealing with a little sickness.
It never got word on if there's an official diagnosis of it, but if it's anything like flu, that is something that in the immediacy of you having it is rough, and then also the recovery after the fact. It still takes some time. Chance tries to hold back the swing, and they appeal down and say that he did not go around, so that's ball 2. Home plate umpire today is Anthony Perez with Jordan Farrell down the first baseline. Nathan Huber is the second base ump with Seth Buckminster along the third baseline. 2-1 to Bryce Chance. Little pop-up, shallow right center field, dropping quickly, and it finds the grass for a single. And a good read made by Blake Beavis midway between first and second. He saw that one was dropping quickly, decided to get further away from first base to make sure he got to second before they could throw it in.
Well, hitters find ways to get hits, and that's what Bryce Chance is. That wasn't hit hard, but he just kind of dunked it in there in the right center.
Little blooper to center field gives the Bulldogs 2 on with 1 out here. At the top of the order, Drew Wires. Picked up his first 2 home runs of the year earlier in the series. A look at second by Lee. Here's the first pitch. Yeah, swinging a foul ball. That may have made contact with the catcher's mask. Strike 1 on Wires. He singled up the middle back in the first inning. 2 on, 1 out. Bottom of the second. Right-handed bat against the lefty Jackson Lee. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing, and that's into left field. That's going to drop for a base hit. They're going to send Beavis around third base. He's coming in to score, and State expands the lead 3-0.
Another one wasn't hit real hard. It jammed him, but Drew Wires is strong enough to kind of muscle that ball in the left field. And another really good base running read by Blake Beavis, because that was kind of hung out there too. He didn't know if he had left field was going to get it, but he was able to read it and get a good jump and score from second base.
Drew Wires adds his 5th RBI to the total on the year. As it's not well-struck balls that have found the outfield grass for State, but they count the same. Runners at first and second remain with 1 out for the left-hander Reese. First pitch he sees, he takes upstairs for ball 1.
That may have been a payback from that punch-out last time. Or it could have been up.
Tell you what, Kevin McMullen on that last ball was sending Beavis the whole way. 1-0 delivery finds his own to even the count 1-1. It is softly hit. Jordan Thomas, the left fielder, didn't charge in with a lot of authority, but at the same time, just good running by Beavis. Knew there wasn't likely to be a strong throw from the outfield. And the heads-up base running gives State another run. 1-1 pitch is upstairs to Reese. Count moves to 2-1.
Well, I know what Ace is thinking. He's looking for a hanger he can hit out there in that right field bleachers. And right now, so far, Lee's done a pretty good job of just, putting that breaking ball right on that outside corner.
Count is 2-1 right now on Reese. Here it comes. And that is hit down the right field line, tailing away from the fielder, and it one hops off the wall and into the bleachers for a ground rule double. And that will cause another run to score for State. It's 4-0.
He got the hanger, and he banged it down in the corner, and you could tell that's what he was looking for, because he's been fed breaking ball after breaking ball after breaking ball, and he wasn't going to give in until he got 2 strikes. He's that good of a hitter. He was going to set on it, and he finally got it, and he hammered it in that corner.
Tell you what, a better route by Mahan, and may have been able to keep that one in the field of play and maybe even catch it, but instead he lets it bounce. It ricochets off the brick facing of the Ackerson Plaza, and it finds its way into the drink rails in the student section. Funny hops all the way around on that double for Ace Reese. Finds his 10th double of the year with that one. Meeting on the mound right now between Jackson Lee and Alejandro Lutero, pitcher and catcher there. 4-0 State after Bryce Chance touches home on the ground rule double, which pushes Wires over to third with Ace Reese on second. And Noah Sullivan, fresh off of hitting a home run to left field, comes to the plate. First pitch. Hits it the other way to right field. That drops for a base hit. In comes Wires. Ace Reese stays put at first base. That was a good, strong throw by Mahan in from right field. But still, Noah Sullivan's able to plate another run for his 3rd time today to add to his RBI total. It's 5-0 State.
Yeah, Lee's not fooling anybody right now. That ball is something, I don't even know what it was. I think it was a soft breaking ball or something about 80 miles per hour. It didn't do much in the strike zone, and Noah hammered it to right, and then Noah turned, and he just got when he turned to catch the throw, it was a little bit too late, because he probably could have advanced to second, because that throw was well over the cutoff man's head.
5-0 Bulldogs here in the bottom of the second inning with Vitas Valencias up. Right-hander batting with the runners at the corners, still just 1 out of the inning. First pitch to him. Ground ball foul towards Kevin McMullen. He lets that one just run right by him. Tries not to field it. 0-1 on Valencias. Grounded out to third on a 3-2 count back in the first inning. That's here with Reese at third and Noah Sullivan at first. 0-1 the count. Sullivan takes off, pitches outside, throw down to second base, a slide, and Sullivan's in there safely. And he picks up his 5th stolen base. And can you believe he's 5 for 5 in stolen bases to start the year?
Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, and he's a smart base runner. We've seen him take some good reads out there, and you can tell Brian O'Connor what he's trying. The first swing from Vitas, he got out in front of that changeup, and he turned and looked in the dugout, and Oak's telling him middle, work the middle of the field.
1-1 pitch to Valencias, takes it upstairs for a ball. That stolen base for Sullivan is brought to you by Wade Incorporated, Mississippi's #1 John Deere dealer, reminding you that nothing runs like a deer but a bulldog. 2 balls and 1 strike on Valencias with runners in scoring position. Pitch comes, a ground ball foul. That one hops into the State dugout. 2-2 now on State's starting right fielder. Valencias on the season batting .444 with runners in scoring position. Hasn't had a ton of opportunities though. That would tell me he's probably 4 for 9 if I had to break that down by at bats. 2-2 upstairs with a fastball. Count is 3-2. He's worked the count full both times he's been up. Infield is playing in against State's right fielder. Trying to guard the plate, keep State from scoring their 6th run. Outfield playing deep and straight up. Lee's 3-2 pitch on the way. Hit towards the other way, and that's going to drop in. Reese comes in to score. It is 6-0 State.
That's exactly what he was trying to get him to do, use the whole field. And a guy like this, if you go up there with a pull conscious approach, he's going to eat you alive with that changeup. And little soft change-up on the outside corner, and Avitas did a great job just staying with it and hit it to right field.
5 hits in a row for Mississippi State, as the Bulldogs will send up their 8th man to the plate this inning in Sean James. Now, that may be it for Jackson Lee as the coaching staff comes out to have a word with their starter. Been a right-hander warming up for Lipscomb here as of late. As taking the tosses, it's Brock Puckett, graduate student from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Have not called for the move yet, but you have to imagine it's coming soon. Again, with 5 hits in a row after a 1-out hit batsman in Blake Beavis. Conversation still going on right now as Anthony Perez goes to break up the meeting. And there will be no change right now. You'd imagine the leash is pretty short going forward.
I think it's real short. I think, honestly, if he could have been ready, they probably would have gone ahead and made that change. But I don't think he's ready just yet.
Just a meeting to, one, calm down Lee ahead of this at-bat against Sean James, but then also to give his pitcher a little bit more time to warm up without gameplay going on. Tell you what, that ERA for Jackson Lee is going to look a lot different after today. Came in with a 1.38. And so far in this one, he has given up 6 earned runs through just an inning and a third. Runners at the corners for State and 1 down. Here's James at the plate. First pitch to the right-hander. Just misses inside for ball 1. It's kind of been the most go-to pitch he's used today. It almost looks like a changeup, just 80 miles an hour, not a ton of movement to it. 1-0 delivery. Goes back to the fastball upstairs, and that's ball 2.
Well, he's got to get soft contact, and this inning he has not been. Well, I'll say that. I mean, a couple of those balls wasn't just smoked, but he's missed a lot of balls this inning in the middle of the plate.
2-0 to James. Ground ball to the left side. Could be 2. The third baseman, Miles, goes to second for 1. The relay to first is high, and that's into the Lipscomb bullpen, or rather the Lipscomb dugout. Another run comes in to score. Could have gotten him out of the inning, but Sullivan touches home, and it's now 7-0 Mississippi State.
Ball was hit hard enough to turn it, and Sean, he's not slow, but he's not a burner. But the second baseman just air-mailed it into the dugout and allowed Noah Sullivan to score.
So Sean James reaches on the fielder's choice to the shortstop, and State will send its 9th batter to the plate in Garrick Fry. The runner at second. First pitch catches the inner corner for strike 1. Sean James ended up over there because of the throwing error. 2 outs in the inning. Fry at the plate after striking out of the first. Next pitch to him. Holds back the swing as he tried to check it. And on the appeal, Jordan Farrell agrees that he checked it in time. Count moves to 1-1. Cloud cover now here in Starkville as we are in the bottom of the second inning. State leading 7-0 over Lipscomb. A look at second by Lee. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fouled back to the top edge of the screen here. Nice play off the screen by Lutero, making the catch in the other batter's box. Strike 2 on Fry. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. One-two pitch. High and tight, ball 2. State switch hitter. Trying to continue the hit parade that State has had here in the second inning. 2-2 delivery. Hit in the air down the right side, but that one's tailing towards the berm and will get out of play. Ends up on the concourse, as a matter of fact. Five hits in the inning for State to go with 5 runs. 2-2 to Fry. Foul back again. Again, Lee not blowing you away with anything high velocity. The hitters, it's just a job of trying to time it up and get the barrel to it wherever it goes. Count remains 2-2. Here it comes. And that one's hit on the screws towards center field, right towards Stella Gannis, who backs up 2 steps and makes the grab for out number 3. So the Bulldogs played 5 runs on 5 hits. There was a Lipscomb error and a runner left on, and Sean James at second base for Mississippi State. 7-0 Bulldogs after 2 complete here at Dudy Noble Field. You're listening to Mississippi State Baseball from Learfield.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
When your car is making a strange noise, no matter what it is, you can't just pretend it's not happening.
That's an interesting sound.
It's like your mental health. If you're struggling and feeling overwhelmed, it's important to do something about it. It can be as simple as talking to someone or just taking a deep, calming breath to ground yourself. Because once you start to address the problem, you can go so much further. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org.
7-0 Mississippi State as we move to the top half of the 3rd inning with the bottom third of the order up for Lipscomb and Alejandro Lutero, Brady Miller, and Hudson Miles, a triad of right-handers facing off against the Bulldogs' Duke Stone. 3rd inning is brought to you by all season long Guaranteed Bank, cheering on the Bulldogs and our community. Guaranteed Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Lipscomb comes into this game 6 wins and 7 losses. State has pushed them to a below 500 mark on the season thanks to the first 2 meetings split across Thursday and Friday. We may be the first SEC series done on the weekend if we play our cards right here.
Should.
Even with a full 3-hour game, I would anticipate that as well. Lutero, the Bison's catcher, stands in to face Duke Stone. Here's his first offering. Just off the plate, Sean James had that flip out of his glove, and he's able to barehand it. So it kind of popped out of there. Ball 1. Lutero batting .318 on the season. Next pitch to him. Misses low with a fastball. 2-0 to start off Lutero. Now on the weekend, not a lot of action for Lutero. Went 1 for 2 in the first game of the weekend. 2-0. Catches his own on the inner corner for strike 1. It's now 2 balls and a strike. He was also able to work a walk in that game. Did not drive in a run as he batted in the 8th spot of the order. 2-1 pitch. Fastball hit in the air down the right field line. Could be playable. Right fielder Valencias hauls it in just inside the line. And there's one away.
Good way to come back and get that first out of the inning. And we saw last night Mississippi State put up a big inning, and then Tomas had some issues coming. It just wasn't sharp that next inning. So long layoff for Duke, so maybe he can stay in that strike zone.
Here's Brady Miller, 8th man up in the game for Lipscomb as State has set down the first 7 in a row. Wide in the first pitch. Fastball right down the heart of the plate for a called strike. Sun has peeked back through the clouds here. Brady Miller, 0-1. The pitch. Duke reared back with a fastball again, but this time missed a little far outside. Brady Miller starting second baseman for Lipscomb today. Led things off in game 1, but went 0 for 4. Striking out 4 times. Next pitch, check swing. The appeal down to Jordan Farrell, and he said no swing. and advances the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. That was a close one.
Yep.
Pitch was way low and away from Stone, trying to get a chase that time and nearly succeeded. Now the windup, here's the 2-1 delivery. Hit back out of play behind us for strike 2. 2 strikeouts so far in the game for Duke Stone, who entered this inning with just 29 pitches in his total. Pitch count now up to 37. A long look in at Sean James, the catcher. Here's Stone's 2-2 pitch. And that's flared back to the screen above Lipscomb's dugout. Count remains 2-2. Decent crowd, all things considered, for a 10 a.m. start today. Student crowd is fairly sparse.
They're all on spring break.
That's right. 2-2 pitch. Wave and a miss. Got him looking at got him swinging on a changeup. That's the third Hancock Whitney strikeout of the game for Duke Stone.
Tell you what, Duke looks sharp this inning so far, and that's a good sign after that long layoff while we're out there banging the ball around a little bit.
So got Miller on an off-speed pitch, and now the 9 spot of the order, Hudson Miles. Trying to finish up another 3-up, 3-down inning. Here's the first pitch to him. Fastball low and away, ball 1. Not afraid to pitch to contact. But you like a strikeout every now and then, too. That's a big confidence boost for a pitcher. Stone ready. Here's the 1-0. Right there at the knees for a called strike.
You know, one thing just from thinking back to the summer with Duke, I mean, one thing that kind of we worked on was pitching more off his fastball. He's got a good fastball, and then when he's aggressive with it, makes him a more aggressive pitcher.
Hold back of the swing on a pitch down and away. Count moves to 2-1. Out of all the guys that you got to see in the Cape this year, over the summer, who impressed you most with their development coming into the year? I'm putting you on the spot, I know. Here's the 2-1. Hard liner on a hop, fielded by Sullivan. He'll step on the bag. I'll give you time to think about that one then.
We'll talk about that, the bottom half.
That's it. The score remains 7-0 State as the Bulldogs have worked a clean 9 through the order on the defensive side. State looks to try to add to their 7-0 lead when we return to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. You're listening to Mississippi State Baseball from Learfield.
Everything is just a little easier when you feel at home. At Cadence Bank, we're proud to be part of your home team, and we never stop working to give you a competitive advantage. Stop by a branch or visit us online at cadencebank.com to learn more about how we're helping opportunity take shape for our community.
There's a hit out to left field. This one is gone.
Cadence Bank, a proud sponsor of Mississippi State Athletics. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
Hey fans, I know you'd do anything for a win on game day and an ice-cold Bud Light. Because whether you're tailgating in the parking lot or parked on the couch, sitting on your lucky stool at the bar, or standing in the fan section all game long, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. And there's nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
7-0 our score here from Dudy Noble Field as we move to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. And Lipscomb goes to the bullpen and pulls out their first reliever, and it's a right-hander, number 38, Brock Puckett. All opposing pitching changes are brought to you by Alpha Insurance. Having Alpha by your side is a game changer. When everything's on the line and every second counts, we'll be there knocking it out of the park. That's life with Alpha Insurance. Well, Jay, this is typically the part of the order where State experiments with a couple different options. Maybe sending a few left-handers out there to battle against a righty, but all said and done, been pretty good success with what State's been able to do so far.
Yeah, and you know, this is being this early in the game now. I think you'll probably see these guys go back through it one more time. And Puckett's a right-hander, graduate student from Murphy Burroughs, Tennessee. 4 innings pitched, only 1 hit allowed, 3 runs, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Command has been a big issue with him. It's his 4th game of the year. 88-92 fastball, curveball, slider, change, mid reliever from a smaller school stuff.
First man he faces is Ryder Woodson. He's looking for his first hit of the day and takes the first pitch down and away, ball 1. Just underway here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. State in front by the score of 7-0 over Lipscomb. Righty works from the first base side of the slab. Stares in, now delivers the 1-0. Flare the other way, foul for strike 1.
So to answer your question, Duke probably obviously had the most, I think he used summer ball for what it's meant for. You need to come up there with a purpose. You need to come up there with an idea of what you want to do to get better. And Duke did that, and we had 5 or 6 of these guys up there.
1-1 pitch. Just misses upstairs. And I think, to Stone's credit, he had the highest potential ceiling, I think, for a lot of those guys going out there to the Cape.
Well, and we had Ace for a little bit, but I'm going to be honest, to me, Ace was banged up. He had that toe thing, and then went to the USA team. Reed Stallman was up for a little bit.
2-1 misses high. Count is now 3-1 on Woodson.
And Reed's thing was he just, we knew going into this year Reed was going to be a big part of this thing, and he needed to just get some at-bats. Came up there and got some at-bats. Dane Burns had moments where he was really good, and so did Charlie Foster. The thing is, though, you're going to get homesick. You're going to get ready to go home, but you got to approach it almost like a job.
3-1 misses down and in, and Ryder Woodson works his way on with a 3-1 pitch walk. And he's the leadoff man aboard.
I mean, you could just tell with Duke, he kind of flip-flopped a little bit for the first couple weeks, and then all of a sudden it clicked. And he said, okay, I want to be a starter at Mississippi State. I want to be a productive guy, and I'm going to do whatever I got to do to get there. And he worked his tail off and ended up being one of the better guys up there.
So Blake Beavis going to stay in the lineup here in the 8th spot of the order. A right-on-right matchup. Here's the pitch from Puckett. Misses high with a fastball at 91, ball 1. So Duke Stone is your most improved award coming out of the Cape.
I think so. And they all, had a purpose, and I think they all kind of got better. But, boy, Duke really took off to me.
Runner at first, nobody out, the 1-0. That's right in there to Beavis. Waiting for a strike to be delivered, and finally gets one.
And the thing, and about him is like I said in pregame, he's still raw. Like, he's still got, that slider's going to get a lot better. That curveball's going to get better. That command's going to get better. I mean, he's one of those, as Coach Polk says, he's still a puppy.
1-1 pitch, down and away. Ball 2. 2-1 now on Beavis. In the development, it takes time. Been really impressed, though, so far with what Stone has been able to do, especially in his second weekend start so far. He's retired the first 9 that he's faced through 3 innings. 2-1 the count on Beavis with the runner at first. Nobody out. Puckett delivers. That's a ground ball through the left side, a base hit. 90 feet, the advancement of Ryder Woodson to second base, and the Bulldogs have the first 2 on here in the 3rd.
Now, this is a situation, and, Bryce obviously up 7-0 in the 3rd inning, got a big inning, but he's the type of guy that you love to have as a coach because, this situation, you kind of want to bunt, but you got a good offensive thing going on. But he's the type of guy that can bunt for a base hit. And worst case, you end up with a sacrifice. Best case, you got bases loaded, no outs.
I can give you the final line totals, by the way, on Jackson Lee, perhaps after this first pitch to Bryce Chance. Here it comes. Shows bunt, takes it as a called strike on the outer edge. 0-1.
That first baseline is wide open. Pitcher's not moving at all. If he bunts it up the first baseline, he's got a hit.
2 innings, 7 hits, 7 runs, all earned for Jackson Lee, the starter for Lipscomb. Walked 1 and struck out 2. Now the first baseman's creeping in just a little bit. Bunt shown, taken down low on the pitch for ball 1.
Yeah, that was the first baseman's fault. The pitcher's got third base, with a runner on second, so the first baseman kind of had a little brain fart over there.
Yeah, lucky Chance didn't put that first one in play.
Absolutely.
Count level 1-1. No outs The bottom of the third inning with 2 runners on. The next pitch, up and in, all the way to the backstop, and everybody's going to get a free base. But be gone, as Bryce Chance now has an opportunity to hit to bat in runs. 2 balls and a strike now. Thanks to a wild pitch from Brock Puckett. That one missed wildly all the way back to the screen on a fastball attempt. Kick of the 2-1. Fought off by Chance. The count moves to 2-2. Infield playing in now. Trying to guard the plate. State leads 7-0. 3 runs away from getting to that 10-run lead. 2-2 to Chance. Off-speed pitch misses down. Got a left-hander warming up for Lipscomb in the bullpen. That's probably also a good reason why State has kept their lineup the way it is currently. 3-2 pitch. Chance fights up back to the screen to stay alive. Ryder Woodson at third after getting on with a walk. Blake Beavis at second. They were at first and second at the start of this at-bat, and the wild pitch moved them over. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Chance, the 9 spot of the order. Here it comes. Fastball 1 hops to the plate, and that's ball 4. A good shot by Lutero to knock that one down with his hands and keep that one from going to the backstop for another wild pitch. And now the bases are loaded for Drew Wires, who is 2 for 2 today.
Had a little hockey goalie action right there.
Yeah. Bases full of Bulldogs. With the wind blowing strong out towards left field. It's been that way since first pitch today. 7-0 our score here at Dudy Noble Field. Mississippi State leading Lipscomb. First pitch to Wires. Upstairs, ball 1. We owe you a station break. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Bulldog Baseball. With Jay Powell, I'm Caleb Hamill. We're happy to have you with us live from Starkville and Dudy Noble Field. Going to be a little bit of a break from us here at this park as we'll find ourselves down in Biloxi for the midweek matchup against Tulane, and then follow that up with a visit to Fayetteville, Arkansas for the first conference weekend of the year. Questionable whether the team will be me and Jay or Neil and Jay for that one. All depends on what basketball does. But prior to all of that, we've got a pitching change coming here at Dudy Noble as Lipscomb will bring in their second reliever of the day to remove Brock Puckett from the contest. Score is 7-0 State with the bases loaded and nobody out in the bottom of the third inning. We'll take a pitching change break and be back. You're listening to Mississippi State Baseball from Learfield.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C-Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you implement AI to increase productivity.
And next quarter is looking even better.
Giving you the confidence and control to accelerate business growth. There's more to see. C-Spire. Customer inspired.
Dudy Noble Field, a college baseball mecca where thunder and lightning once dominated the diamond. Championship hopes spring eternal, and an electric atmosphere ignites the Bulldogs to victory. This Mississippi State tradition is brought to you by Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 49 years straight. Drive F-150, official truck of the Bulldogs. Only at your Mississippi Ford dealer, based on 1977 to 2025 total sales.
7-0 Mississippi State leads. We're on the bottom half of the third inning. The bases are loaded for Mississippi State and nobody out as Lipscomb has made an Alpha Insurance pitching change. Having Alpha by your side is a game changer. When everything's on the line and every second counts, we'll be there knocking it out of the park. That's life with Alpha Insurance. Mac Mabry junior from New Mexico, makes his way out to the mound. Left-hander is making his 6th appearance of the season. That's the most of any Bison's pitcher this year. He's got a 5.4 ERA and a 1-1 win-loss record. No saves on the year, and he's only pitched 6 2/3 innings, giving up 4 earned runs so far on the year. But a left-hander to kind of match what the game started with in Jackson Lee. As the first man he faces is a right-hander in Drew Wires. Infield is playing in. Kicking the first pitch. Ground ball through the left side, and Wires has his 3rd hit of the day. 1 run is in. Everybody else moves up 90 feet. It is now 8-0 State.
It's the way to greet a reliever when he comes in. First pitch fastball right down the middle, and he hits a sharp ground ball to the 6 hole, and they keep passing the bat back.
3 for 3 day for Drew Wires. And State leads 8-0 with Ace Reese coming up. They're playing in a shift now. 3 infielders playing shallow, basically in a line with the base paths. Maybe a step closer to home from there. First pitch to Reese. Wave and a miss at the first offering. 78 miles an hour on a slider.
This guy can be tough to lefties. You just kind of watch it. I mean, he's 88 to 90. He's got a good enough fastball, and that breaking ball's got a lot of sweep in it.
A 1 pitch. Misses just low. Count level 1-1. Ace Reese got his first hit of the day with a ground rule double up the right field line. 1-1 pitch. Sawed off back above the screen for strike 2. Tell you what, this guy, Mac Mabry, he's got a very interesting kick in his delivery. Looking like he could be a Rockette. The way he kicks before his pitch comes. Points the toe and everything. Here's the 1-2. Way inside, and Reese takes it for ball 2. I didn't get to see the Rockettes whenever we went to New York back in January.
It is incredibly impressive. I got roped into going one year, and I was not looking forward to it, but after I went, they are impressive.
2-2 pitch. Reese fights it off. Again, bases are loaded. Nobody out in the bottom of the 3rd. As State has already broken it open once with a 5 spot in the bottom of the 2nd. Looking to do so again here in the 3rd. I passed by Radio City Music Hall. Also went by Carnegie Hall. You know, they call that the Dudy Noble Field of concert halls.
That's right.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Reese. Pitch from Mabry. Off speed. Grounded up the first baseline and took a funny hop just into foul territory.
It took a funny hop because Ace hit it twice with his bat. He popped it straight. He popped it straight in the ground, and it popped up. When it did, he was kind of headed to first and hit off his bat again, but the umpire said he was in the box. So
a lucky break there.
Yeah.
Count remains 2-2 on Reese. Again, infield playing in with 3 fielders on the right side. With no outs. Here's the 2-2 again. Off speed. Grounded up the third base side to Kevin McMullen on a Sunday hop. Another foul ball with 2 strikes.
Not a comfortable at bat so far for Ace.
Haven't really been giving him great stuff to hit either.
No, I mean, he's a funky lefty, and the breaking ball's in, it's away, you just really don't know where it's headed.
Here's the 2-2. Well, wet fastball that time, but missed outside. Couldn't locate it. The count is full on Reese. That was the 8th pitch of this at bat. Nowhere to put him. Bulldogs at every base. The kick in the 3-2. And Reese fouls it off to the screen. I'll give Reese credit. He may not be barreling it up, but he's able to stay alive in the count.
Yep. Just trying to fight those pitches off so he can get one he can handle.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Pitch again. Ground ball to the right side. That still gets through the shift into right field. Beavis touches home. Here comes Bryce. Chance to score. It is 10-0 State.
Wasn't pretty, but we'll take it. And I'll tell you what, that's a great at-bat by Ace. You could tell he was not comfortable with that lefty. I mean, he just was breaking balling him, and the ball was backing up some. I mean, it's just a real uncomfortable at-bat, but he stayed with it and hit a pretty hard ground ball through the shift.
Yeah, 101 off the bat. I mean, right between the shortstop who was playing closer to second and then the second baseman who was right in the middle. And I tell you where the shift was really beaten right there, and it was by the infield playing up, trying to guard home plate right there. If they're playing back, maybe have a little bit more time to react and dive and at least smother that one to get an out. But still, there are no outs in the inning now with Noah Sullivan up. Wires went first to third, by the way, on the single to the right side. First pitch, Sullivan takes it down low as it's blocked up by Lutero. So a 2-run single for Ace Reese makes it 10-0 Mississippi State. 10 runs on 10 hits. And our home plate umpire, Anthony Perez, is asking for a few fresh baseballs.
He's giving Lutero a little time, too. He's got dirt. And used to be those black pellets we get in your face and eyes. Now it's true dirt getting in your face when you block a ball at home plate.
Kind of harder to blink that out, too.
Yeah, it is.
Tell you what, for a catcher, it's a tough outing to stay out there as long as he has in the crouch. The sun just beating you down. 1-0 on Noah Sullivan, with the bases nearly loaded. That's a ball hit well. Moonshot deep left field. He's got 2 today. A 3-run shot for Noah Sullivan, and it's 13-0 Bulldogs.
As I said, it's good to get Noah Sullivan hitting, going into conference play. I mean, good gracious, that dude is scorching hot.
6 of the 13 runs for State have been scored by Noah Sullivan base hits. I mean, he just teed off on one. Deep into the crowd.
He crushed it.
421 feet to deep left. My goodness. Base is clear. Still nobody out of the inning. Can you believe it? A 6th spot put up by State here in the bottom of the 3rd. First pitch to Valencius. Catches the outer edge for a strike. Well, you can close the book on Brock Puckett, who gave State its first 3 base runners of the inning. Next pitch, a fastball right in there for a strike call. Valencius behind 0-2. Faced 3 batters, 3 runs, all earned, gave up a hit, and walked the other 2. Next pitch way into the other batter's box for a called ball. 1-2 now. You told me during the break that would hurt the ERA. I said it would depend on what Mabry does. Well, Mabry didn't help out his fellow man. Foul ball off to the right. Count remains 1-2.
Yeah, you give up 3 and don't get an out. That's used to, you would, before the internet and all that, you'd have the box scores, and that's the way you could track your ERA a lot of times. And you give up one of those, you don't even look at it.
1-2 down the left field line. That's a yard foul. Into the artificial surface part of Duty Noble. Count remains 1-2. I'm trying to see all the hitting today. Wires is 3 for 3 with singles. Ace Reese is 2 for 3. Noah Sullivan 3 for 3 with a pair of homers and an RBI single to ratchet up 6 RBI just in this game alone. Valencius, meanwhile, is 1 for 2. Here's his 1-2 pitch. Off-speed pitch outside for a ball. Two balls and 2 strikes now on Vitas. This will be his 7th pitch to see in this trip to the plate against the left-hander Mac Mabry. He fights it off at home plate to stay alive 2-2. We'll talk about a guy that had a really hot start to the year. When his name was called, He was batting 1,000, I think, all the way up through the Alcorn State game. He and Drew Wires both had that to brag about for a little while. Wires, I think, outlasted him. 2-2 pitch, low and away for a ball.
Duke's thrown about 19,000 plow balls in that dugout.
That's got to be tough. You go
it is.
3 up, 3 down for each of your first 3 innings, and now you're left to just try to stay warm. 3-2 pitch, low and in, ball 4.
Alan, you're never going to complain about run support, obviously.
No.
But you just, it is. I mean, you get to a point where you're like, all right, guys, I love you guys putting up big numbers, but let's get some outs so I can get back out there.
Sean James stays in his part of the lineup here, trying to find his first hit of the day. Got on with a walk in the first inning, but grounded out to the shortstop in what was a fielder's choice. Probably would have been retired on a double play if it weren't for the error charged to the second baseman Miller for a poor throw that sailed into his team's dugout. 13-0 State. 11 hits in the game for the Bulldogs, none for Lipscomb. First pitch to James is up and away, ball 1. James on the season batting .375, but he's had limited action. 9 hits and 24 at-bats. The 1-0. Off speed. Bat came off the shoulder, but did not cross his hips. And that's ball 2. Runner at first, nobody out for State. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Valencius on at first base after a walk. Kicking the delivery. A slow grounder over to State's dugout for a foul ball. Count is 2-1. I wonder what the biggest inning for State has been this year as far as runs. We are still without an out here. We have to face at least 2 more batters. One of them being Sean James here. Clear the other way, foul. Count is 2-2.
I'm going to say we're closing in on it. We haven't, I wasn't here for the Alcorn game and some of the midweek games.
That had some good run support in some of those innings, but I don't think we didn't touch double digits in an inning.
We're getting a zip code going now. You look at the bottom of the scoreboard and it starts saying 256, and you start to put
that's an area code.
Yeah.
Runner takes off and pitches high for a ball. Throw is off the mark. And Valencius has himself a stolen base. Remember, nothing runs like a deer, but a bulldog. That message brought to you by Wade Incorporated. Second stolen bag for State in the game. Noah Sullivan has the other one. Count is 3-2 on James. Looking for his first hit today. Infield is tilted towards the left side, the pull side for James. Here comes the 3-2 offering. Inside, ball 4. Back-to-back walks from Mac Mabry to Bulldog hitters. And the hunt continues for the Bisons to get their first out of the 3rd. As State will send up their 9th man to the plate this inning, Garrick Fry. He's 0 for 2. So looking for his first hit. First time to get on as well. Sean James may be 0 for 1, but he's reached base twice with walks. First pitch to Fry. Upstairs for ball 1. Anyway, the command's just not there right now for Mabry.
Home run, walk, walk. Might be scared to get it over the plate.
A pair of singles before that. Next pitch on the 1-0 is way outside on a fastball. Yeah, right now Mabry's just trying to buy a strike. And may not have the opportunity as here comes the conversation again. As Coach exits the dugout for Lipscomb. They've been warming up a right-hander in that Lipscomb bullpen down the right field line. One taking the tosses is Adam Switowski. Meeting right now is just between coach and pitcher. Well, Jay, right now, this game seems firmly in hand early on. I know we'll still have to play at least to the 7th. So 4 more defensive halves of an inning to try to keep the game where it stands. But right now, if you're State's hitters, you want to continue to swing hot ahead of conference play.
Yep. 100%. It's kind of like the old analogy, the sharks smell blood. I mean, there's a race to the bat rack right now.
And after fry bats, you start to wonder how many more Bulldogs will get in the action. Swing and a miss on the 2-0 pitch. Buried the fastball there.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think you're probably going to see them go through this inning and then start maybe making some subs, and that's probably going to come into play with our pitching staff too a little bit.
2-1 pitch, taken inside for ball 3.
I think they would like to, they'd love to see Duke get 5 innings and get the win. But if you start having these, he had a long set in the second, and he's having a long set now in the third. So you start thinking then, okay.
3-1 pitch is inside. That's ball 4, and the bases are walked loaded.
They probably wanted to extend his pitch count a little bit too, but today it may not be possible.
So runners at every base. Valencia's at third, James at second, Fry aboard at first for Ryder Woodson. No move has been made yet to get the reliever out.
This is going to be yesterday I told Neil it was a 3 Coke 0 game. I think we're going to have I'm going to break that record today.
Caffeine needed on a day like today.
A 10 a.m. start, and it's 13-0 in the third with no outs.
First pitch to Ryder Woodson is away for ball 1. I think right now as a hitter, you're just waiting for a good old strike to come down the heart of the plate for you, because right now Mabry is not locating, and so if he does, I feel like it would be right in your wheelhouse. Next pitch to Woodson. Well, he got his pitch to hit there, but fouls it off. Got that one middle, but just got up under it.
Well, and it's really, to me, it's kind of hard to, I won't say it's hard to hit this situation, but, when a guy's throwing so many balls, you have a tendency to get a little lethargic up there.
1-1. That one drops low with a slider attempt. 2-1. Yeah, easy to kind of sit back on your heels, just kind of wait there, take pitches, but you also can understand if you can't find the zone, there's no reason to really engage the swing. They got to be locked in. 2-1. Off the plate outside with a fastball. And that fastball is only at about 88, 89 right now. So Mabry's just, again, trying to locate.
Well, and you don't want to be that guy that goes out of the strike zone either. And helps him out, and he ends up getting a double play out of this thing because you swung at the ball.
3-1 on Woodson. The pitch. Swing and a miss. That was a pitch to hit again. A fastball down the middle. Count is full as State has put 9 at the plate. This is their 10th batter. And Lipscomb has yet to record an out in the bottom of the third. A 6 spot put up so far for the Bulldogs. Hoping to have more come. Here's 3-2 to Woodson. Pops up behind the plate, but that gets back over our heads and out of play. Woodson 0 for 1 with a ground out back to the pitcher, the starter Jackson Lee. Walked earlier this inning, thanks to Brock Puckett on the mound. Here's the 3-2 delivery. Ground ball towards the middle, and that's going to find center field. In comes 1 run, another one headed home. That makes it 15-0 State here in the bottom of the third inning. And there are still no outs.
Well, he did what he was supposed to do. He got a fastball right down the middle, and he hit it hard right back up the middle. So give credit to Ryder Woodson, because that's a tough situation. He's sitting there with a lot of balls, but he was ready for that strike he got.
And Jeff Forehand has seen enough of Mac Mabry here. Since coming into the game, he has given up 3 singles, a home run, and prior to that last single by Ryder Woodson, 3 walks were issued in a row to load up the bases. So Mabry faces a total of 7 batters and fails to record an out. And so far is responsible for 5 runs that have come in to score. Valencius and James both scored on that hit by Ryder Woodson. And Mabry makes his exit here as the second pitcher used by Lipscomb here in the inning as they make another Alpha Insurance pitching change. We'll take a timeout. 15-0 Mississippi State in the bottom of the third as the State has exploded for 8 runs, still with nobody out here at Dudy Noble Field. You're listening to Mississippi State Baseball from Learfield.
There's team pride, and then there's extra bulldog pride. When I'm carrying the Mississippi State University Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card, that's exactly what I get. Whether I'm grabbing some extra state gear or picking up an extra dozen wings for the game, this card always brings it. Sometimes I get an extra Hail State from the cashier too. Visit Regions.com/Go State to get yours.
Extra changes everything. And at Regions, Extra is our ordinary. Official bank of the SEC, member FDIC.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in the farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
Adam Switalski makes his entrance into the game as the 4th arm used by Lipscomb pitching today. Right-hander hails from Burlington, Wisconsin, playing in his junior year for the Lipscomb Bisons. And the first man he'll face is Blake Beavis here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. As State has played at 8 runs to take a 15-0 lead. Still nobody out with runners at first and second. Beavis earlier in the inning singled through the left side. He has reached twice and scored twice. And before this first pitch, evidently there's some problem with Switalski's pitch comm system as his pitching coach Robert Ziegler goes out there to maybe exchange the pack and get one with fresh batteries in it. Yep, said he can hear it now. So now we're all ready to go as Blake Beavis will have his second trip to the plate this inning. You didn't have that problem back in the major leagues, nor in college.
No, I do like it. I think it has helped with the game. I think it's helped obviously with the sign stealing stuff, and it speeds the game up too. I'm a fan of it.
Here's the first pitch to Beavis. Low and away, ball 1. Fastball at 88 miles an hour. Right-handed arm for Switalski. Next pitch. Beavis sends that one in the air down the right side. Will it stay in play? It's near the bullpen and off the glove of the first baseman. Drop what would have been the first out of the inning.
Well, it's a tough play. You're running down in that bullpen. You don't know exactly where you're going to hit the mound and the incline and everything else. And you actually made a pretty good run at it. It just clanked off his glove.
This is the 3rd appearance of the season for Adam Switalski. Team leader in ERA, but in the opposite direction, 13.5 through an inning and a third. Runners at first and second for State, nobody out. Here's the 1-1 to Beavis. Hit towards the right field, and that's going to drop for a base hit on a line drive. They're going to send the runner around third base. Here comes the throw from right. It's cut off by the pitcher, and State expands the lead. It's 16-0.
So everybody in the 3rd inning now has scored. It's the 9th run of the 3rd inning, and just a solid base hit to right field.
Yep, Garrick Fry touches home to complete that order.
We're going to start having some pinch hitters now. So you don't get to face Bryce Chance, but you get to face Jacob Parker.
Pity.
Yeah.
So Bryce's day's done. Jacob Parker will likely be a straight change to the outfield. Question is, what position in the outfield will he have? Ground ball foul towards the right side. Nicely played by Matt Kirby over there. Deep up the line. Jacob Parker added to his home run total earlier in the weekend with his 3rd of the year. Oh, 1 pitch. Another foul ball by Parker just off the end of the bat. It trickles towards State's dugout. 0-2. Tell you what you hate to be, the first out of this inning. Everybody has gotten on. Now you're the pinch hitter. Now with an 0-2 count against the third pitcher this inning for Lipscomb. 0-2 pitch to Parker. Inside for ball 1. Well, we've got 2 touchdowns. We went for 2-point conversions on both tries to lead 16-0. Runners at first and second. Here's the 1-2 to Parker. Chop foul towards the left side. Count remains 1-2. I want to say Parker played at least a year of football at Purvis, but quickly settled in to say, I'm sticking to football, or sticking to baseball here.
He looks like a linebacker.
A look at second base by Switalski. Here's the pitch. The 1-2 misses up and away. I want to say he played receiver. That may have been way back in his sophomore year, though. Purvis recently got upgraded to 5A. 2-2 pitch. Down and in for a ball. Ball 3. Parker not dead yet in this trip to the plate. Started off 0-2. He's worked the count full now. He's trying to lock in. Wind continues to blow out to left field. That would be the opposite field side for Parker. Switalski from the first base side of the slab deals. That's a line drive to the right side. That drops in for a base hit. They're going to send the runner on delay. Woodson around third. He comes in to score. And the Bulldogs have first and third still with nobody out of the bottom half of the inning. 17-0 State. Jacob Parker with a line drive single to right.
We're going to have another pitch hitter, it looks like.
Now Peter Mershon will get his turn as Drew Wires finishes the day 3 for 3 in this spot. We're to the top of the order. No defensive change needed here as Wires was the DH. But again, Parker likely will check into the outfield. Just a question of which position he'll take. So Mershon digs in with runners at the corners and nobody out. First pitch. Misses just inside. Try to drop one in there over the corner. But Switalski misses. Ball 1. Mershon on the year batting .333. Next pitch. Fastball outer corner for a strike call. 1-1. 2 hits and 6 at bats on the year. He's driven in 4 runs in limited action. No outs and a 1-1 count on Mershon. Pitch comes. Ground ball towards the middle. On a hop, shuffle to second for 1. The relay to first is in time. That's a double play, but Blake Beavis comes in to score to make it 18-0 State.
Tell you what, too, that's a nice turn. That wasn't a routine one at all. Ball was hit up the middle. Shortstop goes to his left, makes a good stop, and a backhanded flip. Good turn.
So Jacob Parker and Peter Mershon are raced on the twin killing. The bases are now empty for Ace Reese's spot of the order, but it'll actually be the return of Kevin Maluski. First pitch to him. Misses high, ball 1. Yeah, you're right. That was not an easy 6-4-3 double play. Holm did a good job to get to that one. One-0 pitch. That one sent high and deep to left field. Back, goodbye. Welcome back, Kevin Maluski.
Well, that's good to see. We've been kind of wondering when he was going to be able to get back in there, and because he was a big part of this team coming into this year. He really was, and looks like he's feeling a little bit better. He just hit a towering home run to left.
Kevin Maluski with a home run deep into left field. That's what some time away can do. Just leaves you loading up, ready for a big hit. That is his first hit of the year. And it's a long ball. And Noah Sullivan stays in the lineup. He's already got 2 home runs today. 12 runs for State in the bottom of the third. 19-0 the lead. First pitch drops in there at the bottom of the zone for a strike call. Sullivan 3 for 3 with a pair of homers and 6 runs driven in. 0-1 pitch. Hit in the air towards center. Relatively shallow. Stella Gannis on the run makes the catch, and the inning finally comes to a close. State plates 12 runs. I'm going to have to get out the calculator to see how many hits it was. 8, as a matter of fact. No errors and nobody left on. Through 3 complete. It is State 19, Lipscomb nothing. Boy, what a long inning for us all. And Duke Stone is back out there. Been working with that plyo ball, trying to stay warm. Back with the top half of the 4th inning when we return. 19-0 State leads. You're listening to Bulldog Baseball from Learfield.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark, and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
If you build a relationship, then it becomes easier. If you build trust, it becomes easier. As a parent, you want what's best for your child. To give them the love that a child needs is probably the best thing you can do for a teenager.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt U.S. Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Well, a 3rd inning took at least 45 minutes for us to complete as State plates 12 runs on 8 hits. Thanks to a great offensive showing, but a poor pitching performance for us all. I'm watching Lipscomb try to deal from the mound there in the bottom half of the inning. Duke Stone is back out to work here. With some wholesale changes across the defense for Mississippi State. We'll get to those in just a moment. Top of the order, Jordan Thomas up. Stone ready to work against this left-hander. First pitch to him. A strike right down Broadway, and we're back to work. Fastball in there at 93. Jacob Parker was a straight change for Bryce Chance in center field. All the rest of the outfielders have stayed put. Kevin Maluski now works from behind the plate for the Bulldogs, at least I believe. Let me double check that.
He is.
Yep. Pitch misses upstairs. Count is 1-1. Sean James moves over to second base because he was not subbed out there. He played a lot of second at Virginia. Here's the 1-1 delivery to Thomas. Swinging a foul tip into the glove of Maluski. Count is 1-2.
That's the change up there.
Noah Sullivan stays at first. Garrick Fry moves over to third base with Gatlin Sanders checking in at short. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got away from Maluski. Goes to pick it up. Throw to first base, and that is in time for the out. Sullivan had to keep his foot on the safety bag there because of where the ball ended up, and that's one of those nuances of that safety bag. You can switch whenever the play takes you to that side. And so there is one away here in the top of the fourth.
Two really good change-ups, and that's some of the few ones we've seen from Duke because they don't have a lot of lefties in the lineup, but they were back-to-back, and they were really good.
Kai Holm will now have his turn for a second time against Duke Stone. Grounded out to second his first time up in the first inning. And the first pitch misses upstairs, ball one. That first inning feels like it was about 2 days ago.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of gotten ugly now.
19-0 State after putting up a 12 spot in the third. 1-0 pitch to Holm. Strike right in there. Tell you what, I give credit to the admin on the State's Twitter account. They have been coming through with some great captions this year. Had the Anchorman quote just now. Boy, that escalated quickly. 1-1 the count on home. We had a pretty good play at shortstop last inning. Pitch misses off the plate on the fastball from Duke Stone. Ball 2. 2-1. Brick killed a guy. Should probably lay low for a little while, Brick. 2 balls and a strike. Pitch comes to home, waving a foul ball back. First time I ever saw that movie was actually on this campus. Got to sit in the dorm room with a friend of mine down at South Hall, which you can imagine is on the south side of campus. Enjoyed it. I love a good quotable movie. 2 balls and 2 strikes on home. The pitch. On the outside edge, a called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Duke Stone to start the 4th. He's worked his total up to 5 Hancock-Whitney strikeouts of the game so far. It'll look to strike out the side as he'll face Aaron Stiliganis. Base is cleared, 2 down. Like nothing ever happened. A long stare in by Stone. Here comes the first offering to Stiliganis. And it misses off the plate on a fastball. Ball 1. You got a quotable movie that you have as a go-to?
Yeah. I mean, there's quite a few in my brain, honestly.
1-0, wave and a miss. Boy, really got him out in front. Stiliganis paused the bat about halfway past the plate and just said, well, I've committed this far.
Yeah. Tombstone, Caddyshack's a good one.
My family's a big Airplane fan.
Airplane, yeah.
1-1, a wave and a miss.
Naked Gun, some of the old police
Academy?
Yeah, well,
just the police films.
The
Naked Gun,
Guns, yeah. With Leslie Nielsen.
Ball and 2 strikes on Stiliganis. Trying to work another 1-2-3 inning. Here it comes. Wave and a miss. Struck him out. And Duke Stone strikes out the side here in the top of the 4th. Boy, you talk about a guy growing up before your eyes. Duke Stone has worked a terrific first 4 innings, facing the minimum of 12 batters through 4. 19-0 State as we move to the bottom half of the 4th. A Mississippi-owned Country Pleasing has been proudly serving their award-winning sausage, bringing families together for over 50 years. Whether you're in the left field lounge cheering on the Bulldogs or cooking at home, remember Country Pleasing Sausage, official sausage of Mississippi State baseball. What will State do from the hitting side of the 4th? We'll see when we come back. You're listening to Mississippi State Baseball from Learfield.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you turn your backyard into your personal movie theater.
Start movie night.
Own your day on the network for connected living. There's more to see. C Spire. Customer inspired.
Ready to take the next step in your career? If you're between the ages of 16 and 70 and living with long COVID, the Career Horizons Project at Mississippi State University is here for you. We help Mississippians with long COVID connect to meaningful jobs and keep them. Don't wait. Call us today at 662-325-8248 or visit careerhorizonsproject.msstate.edu. The contents of this announcement were developed under Grant H-421 F-240-107 from the U.S. Department of Education.
Well, another pitching change coming your way for Lipscomb. Those are brought to you by Alpha Insurance. I remind you that having Alpha by your side is a game changer. When everything's on the line and every second counts, we'll be there knocking it out of the park. That's life with Alpha. 5th pitcher used today for the Lipscomb Bisons, and they bring on Caleb Cantola. And right-hander hails from Monmouth, Oregon. The JUCO product now playing in his final season of college baseball. So on the season so far, Cantola has yet to concede an earned run this year. In fact, no runs at all on the season, just 2 hits given up in 3 innings of work. A perfect ERA through 2 appearances. 3 strikeouts as part of those 3 innings, and he'll face Vitas Valencias to lead things off. The middle third of the order here for State in the fourth. Base is clear, nobody out. Here's the first pitch. Sharp fastball in there for a strike at 96 on the corner. Most velocity I think we've seen today. In fact, I know that's the highest velocity pitch we've seen today. Kicking the 0-1. Valencia sends one through the middle, and that's going to find the outfield for a base hit. Well, State's a fastball hitting team. They've been looking for him, but that one ended up being a slider that just kind of fell right in the breadbasket of Valencia's.
Yeah, this guy's got a really good arm, and a lot of times you see kids like this that have good arms and they're a smaller school. The secondary stuff usually is not very good, or they have a hard time with the strike zone.
Well, Sean James now bats here in the 5 spot. Started off as the State catcher. Now he's playing at second base. That's with a runner on, nobody out. First pitch. Holds back and takes a pitch low and away for a ball. They appeal down to Jordan Farrell. He says no swing. I would imagine no relation to Will Farrell, who we're having slight references to at the other half of this inning, with Anchorman. Next pitch in there for a strike. Count level 1-1 on James. 19-0 State. We're at the bottom of the fourth. 2 runs in the first, 5 in the second, and then 12 in the third. Slight lead from Valencius over there at first base. Pitch is hit towards center field on the screws, coming in. No play made by Stellaganis. He lets it drop in front. And it's another single for State. Not well struck, but struck right to the point where nobody could get there.
Well, and, a lot of these haven't been cheap hits either. That's the thing. I mean, they've been smoking the ball, and I think now you're going to see them go station to station. Probably not obviously going to steal bases or bunt or any of that.
19-0 the lead for State. Garrick Fry up. Sean James just got his first hit of the day. Now with runners at first and second, he swings to the first offering for strike 1. Garrick Fry is the only man left in the starting order for State without a hit. Runners at first and second, nobody out. The 0-1. Outside on a fastball at 96 to even the count 1-1. So that's the story about State's hitters so far. All the starters minus Fry have gotten a hit. If you include all the subs so far, Fry is accompanied by Peter Mershon. Next pitch catches the corner for strike 2.
I know this is the stuff that kills me about where we are in athletics nowadays. This kid, his first year in college sports was 2020. And I know that didn't count due to COVID, but he's 21, played 22. He was a junior at Lipscomb, 23, a senior at Lipscomb, 24, a redshirt senior at Lipscomb, 25, a graduate student at Lipscomb, 26. Double graduate student.
Working on his PhD now. 2-2. That one's golfed towards the right side on a couple hops. The second baseman flips the covering shortstop for one, but the relay is not in time. Fry will remain without a hit, but he does get on base as there will be runners at the corners with one down.
That is a broken system, but that's a topic for another day.
I believe that was the first time, by the way, Fry got to hit from the left side. But he grounds to second for a fielder's choice. There is one away. And Gatlin Sanders, who replaced Ryder Woodson at the shortstop spot defensively, gets his first taste of home plate.
Good to see Gatlin get some at-bats.
First pitch he sees, misses outside on a fastball at 95, ball 1.
He's kind of been the odd man out of the infield this year. He's a good ball player.
Oh, sure. I mean, a routine starter, especially defensively at second last year for State. 1-0 delivery. That catches the outer edge for a called strike. I'm a little biased. I'm a Madison Central grad myself, so I appreciate when I get to see a guy like Sanders check in.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, they had a big group of them last year. Saw a lot of playing time together. Hines, Highfill, and Sanders all together. Part of that championship team for Madison Central. 1-1 pitch, taken down low. Sanders had the roundabout way to get to state, though. He went the JUCO route to Jones before arriving at Mississippi State. Runners at the corners, one down. We're at the bottom of the fourth inning, State in front 19-0. The 2-1 offering misses downstairs for ball 3. Valencius at third, Fry at first. Here's the pitch to Sanders. Outside, that's ball 4. Bases are now loaded as Caleb Cantola looks to try to find the second and third out here. Now he'll face the 8th spot of the order in Blake Beavis. Outfield plays straight up against the Bulldog right-hander. Again, starting today in left field, he has stayed there, even with all the shuffles around of personnel today. First pitch to him. Fastball low and away, and a good job for Ladera to get to that one. That one had backstop written all over it. Davis is 2 for 2. Pair of singles and got hit by a pitch as well. He scored twice. I'll check that. I just got to clean up my book here. He scored 3 times. Next pitch, dots the inner corner. Evens count 1-1. He was batted in, I believe, by Jacob Parker, if memory serves right. Time is called at home plate. Home plate umpire Anthony Perez is making a slow walk in front to allow the trainer to come have a look at
catcher
Alejandro Ludero, excuse me.
Like he got thumbed on that last fastball, and I think they're going to tape him up real quick. He's having just a joyous day back there.
Yeah, that's a long time to be catching. But while we have a moment, we can tell you to make things happen with the only cards for Starkville, the Mississippi State University Regions Visa debit card and prepaid Regions Now card. To confidently show your Bulldogs pride, get your card today. Regions, official bank of the SEC. I may go ahead and sub him out, actually. Yep, taking the catcher's gear off of him. So we will see a change behind the plate for Lipscomb. 19-0 Mississippi State. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. While they get that gear changed out, we can also tell you the Varsity Network is your audio home for live and on-demand college sports broadcasts. Your live play-by-play and keep up with Mississippi State sports all year. Just download the Varsity Network app today and never miss a minute of the action, no matter where you're listening. Brock Bedingfield, freshman from Brentwood, Tennessee, will replace Ludero behind the plate. So he takes a few warm-up pitches from Caleb Cantola. Then we'll be back ready to go with Blake Beavis to continue the at-bat. 19-0 State, a 1-1 count on Beavis with one out here in the bottom of the fourth. Coach Polk came up here earlier, Jay. You were looking for a middle reliever.
Yeah.
To take over the headset. Ready for a 1-1 pitch. Here it comes to Beavis, and that's through the wickets of Bedingfield all the way to the backstop, and everybody moves up, including Valencius, who touches home, and probably the most nonchalant score you'll see today.
Yeah, first pitch to Bedingfield, and he kind of boxed it right through his legs.
You had the hockey goalie analogy earlier. That one would have been a loud goal right there. Right between the feet. 2-1 pitch to Beavis is buried for ball 3. Ruled out a pass ball. So currently it's unearned. Gets the credit of Cantola. First base open, the 3-1 to Beavis. Misses down and in for ball 4. So Blake Beavis gets on for a 4th straight time today. Bases are loaded for Jacob Parker. Hey, the velocity's there for this guy and Caleb Cantola. Just the accuracy is waning on him here, especially with a fastball.
Yeah, the secondary pitches are below average and the command's below average, but he's got a good arm.
20-0 Mississippi State. Parker hits one in towards the right center gap, and that's going to get down all the way to the warning track. State's going to run and run some more. Fry is in. Here comes Gatlin Sanders. He scores. It is 22-0.
Well, and it could have been 23. Kevin was holding up runners left and right back there. You get to a point in these type of games where you still play the game, obviously, but you don't want to try to run the score up. But I mean, these guys are hitting. They've been waiting their chances, and I mean, they just at some point you got to get them out.
Well, now time for Peter Mershon to finally get on for the first time. Bats with 1 out of the inning and runners at second and third after Jacob Parker knocked in 2 runs with a double to right center field. First pitch to Peter Mershon, drops low for ball 1. Had a tough at bat against Switalski, which he grounded into a 6-4-3 double play, which still did not end the inning, just got us closer. Kevin Maluski bat right behind him and got a solo shot to left field for his first Bulldog hit. 1-0 pitch. Now one's hit in the air towards right field. Coming in, Mahan with room, makes the catch. Runner tags from third base, and Blake Beavis comes in to score. 23-0.
This song here is going to be stuck in my head for 2 weeks.
We Like to Party by the Bingham Boys.
I didn't know what it was called, but I'm going to hear this little riff for a while.
That's just out number 2 of the inning. And now Kevin Maluski will get his second turn to the plate in the game. Teed off on one to left field his first time up. First pitch from here. Sends that one in the air to right center. Hanging up shy of the warning track. Mayhem with room. Gloves it, and that's out number 3. State sends 8 to the plate in the inning and score 4 runs. Thanks to 3 base hits, a sac fly for Peter Mershon, makes it a 23-0 lead for Mississippi State as we move to the 5th inning. Bulldogs in front by a large margin here at Dudy Noble Field over Lipscomb. You're listening to Mississippi State Baseball from Learfield.
You say you never give in to a meltdown and never fill your feed with kid photos. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it and never let them run wild through the grocery store. So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, no, it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Let's take a moment to breathe. Deep inhale. Extend your spine. Remain focused on what you're doing. If safe to do so, exhale slowly, leaning to one side. Inhale back to center. If safe to do so, exhale slowly to the opposite side. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. This message is brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
We're headed to the 5th between Mississippi State and Lipscomb with the Bulldogs up big. It's 23-0. Mississippi State out in front. Jeff Marson with you here in the Learfield studios with an out-of-town score update brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer partner of Mississippi State Athletics. Just one other SEC team in action right now. That's number 20, Texas A&M. They have a 2-0 lead over Oakland in the series finale against the Golden Grizzlies. Top of the fourth from Bluebell Park in College Station. We have a few games getting set to start here as well. Alabama and North Florida will have first pitch coming up soon, as well as game one of a couple of doubleheaders. South Carolina and Princeton will get started, and number 10, Georgia and Queens will play game 2 of their series, game 1 of a doubleheader today. That'll do it for our look at the SEC out-of-town scoreboard. We'll send it back to Dudy Noble Field, where the Bulldogs continue to dominate here against Lipscomb in the series finale. Guys?
Thanks so much, Jeff. I told you we would have an opportunity to give you a scoreboard update there. We had a lengthy third inning to help out the cause to get some of those other games in progress. Well, Duke Stone has worked really well for State, and because of that long lull of the third inning, and for that matter, a little bit of scoring in the fourth as well, State has elected to go to the bullpen, and they'll bring out Charlie Foster. Unfortunately for Duke, that means he won't be in line for this win, unless there's a hitch in the way you can get a win in the NCAA nowadays. But Charlie Foster comes on in relief. And the first batter he faces grounds one to the right side. Jacob Tobias to second base, and the throw is in time, 4-3 on the putout by Sean James, who's manning that post nowadays. And there's one away on one pitch.
Well, good to see Charlie getting back out there. He started the year really as our number 3 starter, and you know the walks hadn't been an issue. He's walked 4 and 5, but the inability to stay ahead in counts and just constantly kind of behind the count, that's been an issue for him.
First pitch, a strike to Blake Carter, 0-1.
They like Charlie, and for good reason. Big fastball, good changeup, breaking balls, curveball slider, and he's got to get a little more consistent.
Next pitch misses down low for ball one. Count even 1-1. Yeah, I'm with you right there. And I thought Charlie's work in the midweek against Southern Miss in a limited relief outing wasn't his worst, wasn't his best either. But I kind of like the idea of him as a reliever. And sometimes that's a mentality type of thing. Some guys, if you're a max effort type of guy and you just want to come out guns blazing, it's hard to have a start. But you have to kind of leave some of those bullets ready for later innings. And Charlie may be one of those type of guys where it takes him to have kind of a situation to inherit to get him geared up. Next one misses down, ball 2-1 on Carter.
Well, and he loves throwing that kind of high riding fastballs. And as a reliever, you can kind of come in and cut it loose and challenge guys a little bit more than you can as a starter, so that very well could be the role he flourishes in.
Count is now 3-1 on Blake Carter as the fastball missed inside. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. High for ball 4, and that's the first base runner for Lipscomb today. So that happens when Charlie Foster comes in here in the top of the fifth. One out so far, and a runner on. Here comes Damian Keneally. And actually, it'll be a pinch hitter in Keneally's spot. It'll be, let's see, who do we have here?
Pippinger, maybe.
Get his numbers for you here in just a second. First pitch to him. Grounded towards the left side. Backhanded made. Fry's long throw across the diamond is not in time. That'll be an infield hit. And that would be just hit number 2 on the year for Pippinger. He was 1 for 9 coming into that at bat. And Fry, who's not the normal third baseman for State, had to go a long way to get to that one on a backhand play and throw across the diamond.
It was a heck of a play.
And that blows the no-hitter there.
Yeah, perfect game, the no-hitter. All the way in 2 batters.
Still a great outing for Duke Stone. Final numbers on his outing: 4 innings, no hits, no runs, 6 strikeouts, facing the minimum of 12 batters. First pitch is in there for a strike call. This time another pinch hitter in Brock Bedingfield. He's the catcher that relieved Lutero in the middle of an at-bat to Blake Beavis. Next pitch drops in there for a strike. Fastball at the knees there. 1-2. Runners at first and second and one out. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Change speeds there. Got him out on strikes for the first Hancock-Whitney strikeout of the game for Charlie Foster.
Tell you what, you see his stuff, and I mean, you just don't see many lefties like this. The ball explodes out of his hands, mid-90s fastball, and I mean, when he's on, he's tough.
So the next man up is another pinch hitter, and Danny Ramirez from Kissimmee, Florida. Went to Seminole State for junior college. Now in his first year at Lipscomb. First pitch to him. Halfway swing. It's a called strike anyway. Everybody getting in on the action here. 8th spot of the order. With runners at first and second and 2 down. The pitch. Ground ball towards second. From a deep side, James throws to first in time, and that's the out. 3rd out of the inning. Well, he's playing about shallow right field. James had to go a long way, about even with second base, to finally get his glove to that one. Picks it up and throws in time, and State holds on to a 23-0 lead going into the bottom half of the 5th inning. The 5th inning is brought to you by your Mid-South Ford dealers and the Ford F-150. Like the Bulldogs, this truck has a strong tradition of greatness earned by outstanding capability and features like a mobile generator. That's how you create a legacy in the official truck of Mississippi State. Go Bulldogs. State 23, Lipscomb nothing. As we move to the bottom of the 5th, you're listening to Mississippi State Baseball from Learfield.
Hi, this is Jan from Toyota. You're currently listening to my new meditation guide called Meditating with Jan from Toyota. Take a moment to find a comfortable position. Now soften your focus and visualize yourself off-roading in a rugged new Tacoma. Now take a deep breath in, smell the patchouli, and imagine taking a Corolla cross to a music festival. Now engage your senses. What do you hear? A donkey. That's what you heard because you're in a farm sanctuary now in a spacious new Grand Highlander. Breathe in, breathe out, and go from dreaming it to driving it today. That's Jan's meditation.
Right now, qualified lessees can lease a rugged new 2026 Tacoma SR5 for $299 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends March 31st. Toyota. Let's go places.
Well, Caleb Cantola's day is finished for Lipscomb. He works just the 4th inning. Gave up a handful of runs there. 4 all earned and 3 hits. Never struck out a batter but walked 2, facing 8 in that 4th inning. And now into the game comes the reliever Ryan Cutts. Ryan Cutts, graduate student from Hummelstown, Pennsylvania. He's been around college baseball for a while, Jay.
Yeah, he has. He ought to be a doctor by now. The freshman year at Davidson was 2020, which was COVID. 21 at Davidson, 22 at Davidson, 23 at Davidson, 24 a graduate student at Lipscomb, 25 a graduate student at Lipscomb, and now 26, I'm assuming still a graduate student at Lipscomb. In all those years, he's thrown a total of 61 innings of college baseball. So
I hope college baseball is what his research and thesis are on at this point.
You know, at some point, life tells you to find a different career path, and sometimes we miss those signs. But needless to say, he's making another appearance today. It'll be a 3rd appearance of the year, 3 1/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts.
He'll face State's middle-ish part of the order, 3, 4, and 5 spots, Sullivan, Valencius, and James. But it'll actually be yet another pinch hitter for State. And in Sullivan's spot of the order, it'll be Jackson Owen, who's played first base before this year. Very limited action over there against Alcorn State, but he played there nonetheless. And he bats here to start off the 5th inning. First pitch to the Starkville native, misses low and away, ball 1. Slider from the left-hander at 74 miles an hour. Misses low and away. Next pitch to Jackson Owen, misses away as well, this time at 85. Jackson Owen so far this year does not have a hit through 2 at-bats. Next pitch misses, ball 3. He has walked twice, however, so he's been on base. 20-3 our score here at Duty Noble Field. Winding the delivery, way away for ball 4. Leadoff runner aboard for State with Jackson Owen. Again, likely to see Jackson stay in at first base come the defensive half of the 6th. James Nunnally now gets into the box score today. He'll bat for Valencius. Testing your scorecard's length here. First pitch to him. That's the inner edge for a called strike. That's the first one thrown by Ryan Cutts since entering the game. Right-handed pitcher battling against the lefty James Nunnally. Next offering. Missed down and in. Count even 1-1. Tell you what, Nunnally had a really good play the other day down the right field line on a sliding catch. Had his ups and downs in the lineup as far as batting perspective. It's a sharp one. That's past the first baseman and down into the right field corner. Touching second, headed for third is Jackson Owen. Nunnally stretches it into a double. And there are runners in scoring position for State with nobody out here in the 5th.
Well, this guy's throwing about 84, 85, and that's what's going to happen. Nunnally hits a bullet down the right field line, and good for him. We need to get him going. He's a heck of a player. Does a really good job, and really he's the type of guy that could be a good leadoff hitter for you. Sees a lot of pitches, takes some walks, but he just hadn't been able to get the bat going.
Now for State, Sean James will bat, and I owe you some defending changes. Nothing's changed behind the plate. Bedingfield, who relieved Lutero earlier, stays back there. Danny Ramirez is now the first baseman. Give you the rest of that in just a second before this, or after this first pitch. And James takes one upstairs for a ball. Let's see, Hudson Miles is still at second base. Pruitt is now the shortstop with Pippinger at third base. Next one fouled back for a strike, 1-1. I say Miles is still at third base. He was at third, or excuse me, still at second base. He was at third earlier. Rotates over there to second. So again, Pippinger at third, Pruitt at short, and the outfielders are still Jordan Thomas in left. Harper is now the center fielder with Jacob Tobias in right. Next pitch, foul back to the screen to make the count 1-2 on James.
Not a lot of movement on that.
Nope, not a lot at all. 23-0 our score. 2 runners in scoring position for State with nobody out. 23 runs on 19 hits for the Bulldogs. 1-2 pitch. Off speed, grounded towards third. Softly hit. Out of his hand is thrown by Pippinger to first in time. But that scores a run in Jackson Owen from third base, and an RBI added to Sean James' credit today.
Now, as a hitter, of course, anytime you make an out, you feel like you're the worst hitter in the world after what's going on today.
(24-0). Mississippi State. Now with 1 out of the inning and a runner at second. Garrick Fry still in the lineup. Now playing at third base. First pitch to him. Misses the outer edge for ball 1. Yeah, we talked about everybody trying to get in the hitting column. Garrick Fry, one of those that is yet to do so. Left-handed here, hits one hard down the right side, but over the berm for a foul ball.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's going to get a hit this at bat.
I may take you up on that.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good bet.
What kind of hit are we thinking?
I'm going to say he's probably going to hit a home run. Just going to go ahead and call it.
Likely hitting it into the the teeth of the wind, but I'm with you. As strong as that one was hit right there. If he straightens it up, he's got a homer. Hits that one in the air to right center field. Maybe on cue. Warning track wall. It's gone.
There you go.
He was due and knocks it home. Garrick Fry plates 2 more for Mississippi State. It is 26-0.
Guy throwing 75 miles per hour and Garrick Fry hitting. I'll take that bat any day. And he hit it well, hit it to right center. I need to go to the casino now, I guess, don't I?
You can make that on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, change your route from 82 down 85 to maybe back down kind of more my route.
Yeah, I have to go down toward Philadelphia, I guess.
Galen Sanders now bats with the bases clear and still just 1 out in the inning. So Garrick Fry does get his first hit of the day. Now Sanders up, takes a strike on the outer edge. State now with 4 home runs in the game. 2 for Noah Sullivan, 1 for Kevin Maluski, and now 1 for Garrick Fry. 0-1 to Sanders. Soft grounder left of the mound, could be an infield hit. Third baseman comes up throwing to first. A good pick play over there, and they retire Sanders. Oh, that is a veteran move from a guy that did not start over there as Pippinger tosses to Danny Ramirez, charging in from the third base side.
That was a heck of a play. I mean, that's a tough play. Little cue ball off the end of the bat. Pippinger came a long way and just threw it almost on the run. It was a great play.
His momentum helped him there. Trying to chase down that ball. All of his momentum was going towards first base. Again, that helps. Blake Beavis stands in. Hits a chopper towards the left side. Scooped up by the shortstop. Gets it out of his glove finally and throws to first in time as Pruitt completes the 6-3 putout. It is 26-0 Mississippi State after 5 complete. Children's of Mississippi, part of the University of Mississippi Medical Center, is home to the state's only children's hospital. It's care made just for kids because kids aren't like the grown-ups. They need care designed especially for them. Children's of Mississippi, forever and ever for kids. Top of the 6 is next. State in full control here at Dudy Noble Field. It's 26-0 here in Starkville. You're listening to Mississippi State Baseball from Learfield.
Put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt U.S. Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
State's trying to preserve a shutout here at Dudy Noble Field on an early Saturday morning. Glad you're with us. Caleb Hamill alongside Jay Powell. State will move on to their third pitcher of the game as Dane Burns comes in to start the top half of the 6th inning. The 6th inning is brought to you by Chevron. You can get 25 cents off per gallon on your next 5 visits at participating stations when you join on the Chevron app. Got a bad idea with everything going on in the world right now, in the world of oil.
That's true.
Let's see, do we have any more changes? Yes, because of Jackson Owen checking in place of Noah Sullivan. He now will be at first base. We predicted that one. Nunnally will be in right field in place of Valencius. Everybody else stays put, but we'll go ahead and reset it for you. Blake Beavis in left, Jacob Parker in center field, James Nunnally in right, with the infielders for State being Garrick Fry at third base, Gatlin Sanders the shortstop, Sean James at second, Jackson Owen at first, with Kevin Maluski behind the plate. Blake Beavis, the only one that has stayed true to his position the entire game so far. Hudson Miles, third baseman turned second baseman. will lead things off in the 9 spot of the order. First pitch to him, catches the zone for a called strike from Dane Burns. Charlie Foster's final line total in the game just goes 1 inning. Gives up a hit, a walk, and a strikeout, getting 2 groundouts to get out of the inning unscathed. As a foul ball is hit back by Miles for strike 2.
Good to see Dane get out there, and I have said it all year, really. To me, he is one of the biggest pieces on this team. You've got to have a couple really good lefties out of that bullpen, and to me, Dane has the potential to be the best one out of the group.
0-2 pitch, way up and away, with a miss for ball 1. State's got a lot of youth in this pitching staff this year. And not to say that they're not good in their youth, but Dane Burns, Ben Davis, 2 of those upperclassmen State is looking to rely on in certain times. 1-2, wave and a miss. A Hancock-Whitney strikeout to start off the outing for Dane Burns here in the 6th. 1 away.
Good start right there for Dane. He gets a slider and he just wraps it around his back foot. He's just got really good stuff. He's kind of a low 3/4 guy. He's very, very deceptive to left-handed hitters. He's got a good breaking ball, good fastball, and just got to be a little more consistent.
Back to Jordan Thomas at the top of the order for Lipscomb. First pitch he sees is grounded right back to Dane Burns. Burns will race over to first, underhand toss, and there's 2 away. 2 up, 2 down in quick order. That'll be Cam Pruitt batting in the 2 spot of the order in place of Kai Holm. So Cam Pruitt up with nobody on and 2 down here at the top of the 6th. First pitch in there for a strike at 93. 26-0 Mississippi State. Bulldogs have scored in every inning today and still have 1 more batting half guaranteed to them. A 1 pitch. Hit back to the screen for a foul ball, 0-2.
This is when I'd go down there and find Polky and start asking for an at-bat. He'd tell me go back to the bullpen.
He gave you a couple.
Not nearly enough, I tell you.
0-2 here on Cam Pruitt. The pitch misses upstairs from Burns. Count moves to 1-2. Out of the pitchers that State has in their arsenal here, who do you think would request the bat and have an opportunity?
I'm going to say probably, I could see McPherson lobbying for an at-bat right here.
1-2, outside for ball 2. There have been a lot of fun at-bats over the history of baseball that involve pitchers at the plate. 2-2 delivery. Wave and a miss. Got him swinging on a 2-2 pitch. And that is another Hancock-Whitney strikeout for Dane Burns to close the door on the top of the 6th inning as he faces the minimum. 1-2-3. Well, State can look to add to their 26-0 lead when we move to the bottom half of the 6th inning. All Bulldogs here in Starkville. You're listening to Mississippi State Baseball from Learfield.
There's team pride, and then there's extra Bulldog pride. When I'm carrying the Mississippi State University Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card, that's exactly what I get. Whether I'm grabbing some extra State gear or picking up an extra dozen wings for the game, this card always brings it. Sometimes I get an extra Hail State from the cashier too. Visit Regions.com/Go State to get yours.
Extra changes everything. And at Regions, Extra is our ordinary. Official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in the farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
Bottom of the the sixth inning here from Duty Noble Field, barring calamity. It should be the last time the Bulldogs get to bat here against Lipscomb in 2026. New pitcher in for the Bisons, as it is Caleb Pika. It gets to come out for the first time on the weekend. Pika, a left-hander from Nashville, Tennessee, in his redshirt junior year. Well, he is the lone man remaining on the roster with a 0 ERA. This is just his second appearance of the season. And in his first, though he did not record an out, he somehow got out of Dodge without giving up a run. He gave up 2 walks and a hit and left the bases loaded for whoever inherited his runners, and that got him out of a jam.
That's pretty good pitching right there. I don't know how you do that. Well, I see how you do it, but it's hard to do.
First man he faces is Jacob Parker, who takes a pitch upstairs at 90 for ball 1. Moving on down the order of pins, I'm to Aqua. Next one off the plate outside, ball 2 on Parker. 26-0, Mississippi State leads. We're in the bottom half of the 6th inning. They would have to give up 17 runs in the 7th at minimum to at least play the bottom of the 7th. Next one misses for ball 3 to Parker. I will be very impressed. 3-0 pitch. That catches the outside edge for a strike.
If that happens, I'm going to go ahead and make an executive decision. We will not do a coach's show after the game. That man will not be happy.
Even with the win.
No, I don't.
3-1 pitch. Parker hits that one in the air down the left field line. It should stay in play for a long run. Jordan Thomas hauls it in just shy of the warning track. Had to make a long run from straightaway left field to chase that one down shy of the line. So a fly out to left, the way this inning begins. And that is the first time in the game. Or make that second time. I apologize. Second time the leadoff man did not get on. Ryder Woodson led off the second with a ground out. But that ended up being a pretty decent inning for State. First pitch is inside to Peter Mershon for ball 1. So we're here in the bottom of the 6th. Mershon's looking for his first hit today. 0 for 1, but he did have an RBI on a sac fly as he takes a strike there to even the count 1-1. His brother David had, I think, my favorite walkout song. And I think a fan favorite, too. Ground ball just foul down the third baseline. The song was My Type by Saint Motel. And but maybe 2% of people at the ballpark probably know it by name. But it was one that involved some rhythmic clapping as he stepped up to the plate. In fact, it was so popular they got the Jumbotron involved of initiating the rhythmic clapping with it. 1-2 on the way. Tried a big bender and missed way up and away.
Good player, too. David was a really good player here. His brother's a little bigger. He's a little more physical-looking kid.
Caleb Pico working on the mound with 1 out, and the base is empty. 2-2 pitch. Fastball got him looking. Strike 3 called on the inner edge. And there are 2 gone. He'll may keep his 0 ERA after all. They'll have to go through Kevin Maluski, who homered on his first at-bat of the game. And that was his first hit of the season. Up and away on the first pitch, ball 1. One for 2 day, had a fly out to right after his home run to left. 1-0 is inside for ball 2. Give Pika credit, he works quickly as soon as he gets the ball back. Maluski takes his time to get back into the box and prepares. Here's the 2-0. Outside, ball 3. (26-0) Mississippi State leads. We're in the bottom half of the 6th inning with 2 outs and the base is clear. Now the windup, here's the 3-0 offering. Inside, ball 4. And Maluski reaches on a 2-out walk. and the inning continues. Well, State's in trouble of having their first inning of the day without a run scored. Selfishly, I'm okay with possibly getting out of this inning fairly quickly. The State is just 3 outs away from their biggest run differential win of the year. Here's Jackson Owen for the second time, and he takes a first pitch strike on the inner edge at 88. Worked himself a walk against Ryan Cutts in the 5th inning. Next delivery at the bottom of the zone for a strike call. Runner at first and 2 down. Pitch by Pika. Misses just a little bit too low that time. Even for a game that's getting old here, a little bit too low for Anthony Perez's liking. Sometimes you'll see that plate stretch up, down, left, and right in a game like this. 1-2 pitch, a check swing, they'll say you went around, and Anthony Perez just says, we won't even appeal. We'll just go ahead and go to the dugouts and have a top of the 7th inning. So, we move to the 7th. Mississippi State leads by the score of 26-0 here at Dudy Noble Field. You're listening to Mississippi State Baseball from Learfield.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
This message is for Shauna, my mom who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You told me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Top of the 7th inning here from Dudy Noble Field as Mississippi State in full command, 26-0 over Lipscomb. Parker Rhodes comes out to relieve Dane Burns and try to get a final inning of work from the State pitching staff. As once we conclude this one, we'll look ahead to Tuesday's meeting with Tulane on the coast at Keesler Federal Park. I'll be down there with Jay. Look forward to having you with us on the entire network for that affair. You can follow that up with an evening game of basketball. Not sure what time yet State will play in the SEC tournament. It kind of hinges on what happens today across the league. It's a possible rematch with Ole Miss in store for us over in Nashville. But it kind of depends, again, on the results today. If State loses to Georgia and Ole Miss wins against South Carolina, that would put State in the 14 seed, which would be the nightcap game of the tournament against the 11 seed, which, depending on results, could be anyone from Auburn to Oklahoma. I don't know that there's anybody else that can take that seat, but we'll see how it all plays out by the end of the night. But Neil will be on the call for you there for the SEC tournament. Well, ready to begin the top of the 7th inning. You can ring your cowbell for catfish. Heartland U.S. Farm-Raised Catfish is proudly produced in the Mississippi Delta. Its sweet, mild flavor makes it perfect for frying, grilling, or enjoying in your favorite recipe. Visit heartlandcatfish.com to learn more. Heartland Catfish, a proud sponsor of Mississippi State baseball. First pitch to Stellaganis comes off the plate to the outside for ball 1. State using their 4th pitcher of the game in Parker Rhodes. 1-0, misses down and away, ball 2. Parker Rhodes on the season has had some good outings, some not as great. Pitch comes and it's fouled off. for strike one from Styliganis. So far on the year, a 2.7 ERA. This is his fourth time to enter a game for State. Has not started a game yet this year. 2-1, misses down low. His problem has been walks. He's walked 4 batters and only struck out 2 through those 3 1/3 innings. Styliganis, who has struck out twice, has a 3-1 count. The pitch hit in the air to center field. Parker with a couple steps back makes the catch, and there's one away.
Parker's got good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you like his stuff. Mid-90s fastball. It's a little inconsistent with the breaking ball. That's kind of a work in progress. But I guess threw well at Southern Miss. And, I mean, he's shown some spots where he can help us out this year.
Jacob Tobias now bats. Grounded out 4-3 back in the 5th inning. That's his only at bat today. Infielders playing back here against left-hander and sends a sky-high ball to right field on the warning track. It is caught. And a quick 2 outs here as James Nunnally hauls that one in, as we're 1 out away from closing the door on this game. Well, La Quinta Inn and Suites in Starkville welcomes Mississippi State baseball fans to Dudy Noble Field this year. They're located just minutes from the action, and their friendly atmosphere as well as complimentary breakfast, that would come in handy today, make the La Quinta a great place to stay. You can check in before first pitch at the La Quinta, and they're conveniently located close to campus. Right-hander Simon Scharf, swings and misses at the first offering. SCHARFF.
Simon had a tough night last night with those pop-ups. He was a catcher that ended up dropping one with 2 outs, and the floodgates opened after that.
Next pitch misses. The count is even 1-1. And Scharf went 0 for 2 in his game yesterday. Struck out and was eventually replaced by pinch hitter Jacob Tobias. Swings and misses there. The count is 1-2. State a strike away from completing a 26-0 shutout to sweep the series. Crowd begins the applause. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Misses down and away. Parker Rhodes trying to close the door.
Crowd begins the rhythmic
applause. As Jim Ellis would say. We're in his broadcast booth after all. 2-2 delivery. Wave and a miss. Got him swinging for another Hancock-Whitney strikeout. And the Dogs pick up win number 14 on the year as they sweep the Lipscomb Bisons here at Dudy Noble Field. Post-game show is next. State improves to 14-2 on the year. Lipscomb falls to 6-8.